I would simply play that song before every game if I were a San Diego Padre. Of course, if you're watching in the YouTube stream, that's you don't get to hear it, but it's Better Living Through Chemistry by Queens of the Stone Age. It gets me fired up every time. I had feared this morning that our morning show here, Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan, was going to take the personality of the baseball team that we cover, meaning we would come in today and just kind of sleep through it and go through the motions and hack first pitch and be a little boring and just get dominated. But that song always puts me in the right headspace, and I'm back to where I need to be. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm great.
Great. Benjamin R. Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. Pissy moods in here this morning by all of us. Just kind of like, you know.
Me?
Even you.
Me?
Yes.
What?
Even you.
Especially you.
You wait 48 hours or whatever for a baseball game, and then you get handed that. It's a turd. Say, hey, we're going for pizza in 2 days. I'm really looking forward to it. Been dieting so hard. Oh, my God. I've been really crushed. I'm working out. Feel great. I ran. I got all my steps in. Been dieting great. We're going for pizza on Friday night. Okay, great. Where are we going? Little Caesars. Killer. That's what we got last. We got Little Caesars.
Joey, undercooked.
Yes. You know what? Actually, Papa John's. I'm going to say Papa John's. Little Caesars got...
Don't hate on Little Caesars.
I just got a bad rap for Little Caesars. It's Papa John's, dude. That's where we ended up going.
You're paying $5.
It's $5.
You know what you're
delicious.
getting.
You know what? You're right. It's delicious. It's Papa John's. You get it? You're like, why is there this pepper in here? I don't want this pepper in here. I don't want this. It's disgusting. No offense. But it's not my jam.
I have no pizza complaints. My boys ordered Round Table last night.
Delicious.
There was a couple slices left over when I got home.
Company man. That's
Ready
how
for
you
the
do
Round
it.
Table on Thursday. Tomorrow, no problems with pizza for me today.
Yeah, listen, it's just, you wait that. You wait. We all do this, too. We sit and we're like, oh, God, I can't wait for tonight. Watch the game. Got me something to do.
Were you really excited about that game
Well,
yesterday?
I knew what the outcome was going to be, but I still
Yeah.
wanted to see. I want to see how they responded. I wanted to see, if Major could hold this anemic offense down. If we could fight our way through to. I knew it was going to be really tough against Gilbert. I knew that. But I was excited. Hell yeah, I was excited about it. I was real excited about it. I love watching baseball games in my house. And
baseball's baseball, so there's always the possibility for something unexpected. But when one team's throwing an all-star and the other team is throwing a guy who shouldn't be in the major leagues and is only here because of injuries and the lack of depth in the organization to bring anybody else up, you know what's going to happen.
No,
95% of the time.
But
that's a game you're just going to get bodied in that game.
That's like saying it's that 5% that gets me coming back. I know if I go tee it up at a local golf course today, I'm probably going to shoot in the triple digits. But there's been a handful of times where I didn't. There's been a handful of times I started my round with 4 pars in a row and looked like a really good golfer. There's times I've made birdies. There's times I've stuck it 3 feet from the hole and, tapped in for birdie. That's what gets you coming back every time. And,
And maybe if Adam Major had gotten through the first inning cleanly, you would have gone, all right, hold him, keep this close, you have a chance. The game was over, in my mind, after one batter.
No question.
When he walked the first batter, I said, this game is over.
Jose says, oh, my God, the kid's a number 5 starter. He's not. He's
a number 7 starter, and he shouldn't even be that.
He's not. And again, it's not. This is not on him. He's just not ready. That happens. He may very well develop into a good big league pitcher. It's just not right now, and that's okay. That's okay. Every team's got one that they're working through. I mean, look, he wasn't super highly touted. He wasn't like Bobby Miller from the Dodgers, where it was like, this kid's going to win a Cy Young. He's going to win 20 games in the show easily. Bobby Miller got his ass cracked last night. Just smoked by the Phillies. And it happens, all right? But he's not a number 5 starter. He is not ready. He's got forced into that situation. There's nothing he can do about it. He's going to try to go out and compete, but he needs more seasoning. He needs a lot. He needs another pitch, potentially. But, yeah, it's not on him, man. Also, you can't win when you don't hit and you don't score. And I totally look at the offense last night and go, well, nice you guys to not show up. And I know it's Logan Gilbert. I know it is. He's nasty. But it almost is like you got to figure out how to beat guys like that if you want to be a playoff team, and especially when you get into the playoffs. And, yeah, we won't be throwing out a Major in the playoffs, but they'll be throwing Logan Gilbert, and you got to figure out a way to beat him. And at least, bro, 78 pitches in the 8th inning? Give me an effing break. Come on.
We'll talk about the game coming up. Brandon says I've never seen Ben this upset about a Padre player ever. I'm actually not. I'm actually not upset, and we'll discuss it. This is the reality of baseball sometimes. The Padres even know. I know this is going to shock you because they don't say it. Padres know Adam Major shouldn't be here.
Correct.
They don't have anybody else.
That's right.
Hunter Renfroe is a loser.
Yeah, we knew that.
They don't have anybody else right now. They're looking for someone else. AJ is on the phone. It's every day. But you can't just magically make a pitcher appear out of thin air. Takes some work. Takes matching up with other organizations. It takes getting healthy. It takes time to get healthy sometimes. And right now, he's unfortunately the best option they have.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it coming up. We got our Padres wrap-up at the bottom of the hour. But let's foreplay here. Let's not get into the game.
We just started the show with how boring. That was a terrible game.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend the next 8 minutes. on
Well,
it.
speaking of pizza, I tried something over the break. I forgot to tell you guys about. Every few years there's a new trend in pizza. And somebody tries something different. Many moons ago, it was the barbecue chicken pizza.
Of course.
Amazing.
Outstanding.
Sammy's had one of the first
Delicious.
versions of
Elite.
it.
Delicious.
Ledoux's barbecue chicken pizza.
California Pizza Kitchen had it. It was delicious. It's all good, right? You do that. Then there was some veggie pizzas. Then there was Alfredo pizza. There's all these different trends. Well, the new one that I had read about a few months ago was this hot Italian sausage with honey.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
that.
the hot spicy honey with pepperoni or sausage on it.
Yes, tried it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fantastic. My only complaint, I can't remember the name of the place we ate. It was on 4th of July. Nothing else was open, so we stopped in and grabbed it. And I was like, I want to try this. There was too many. They had peppers on it, real spicy peppers. And I think with pizza, you can just have the spicy Italian sausage or a pepperoni, and then the hot honey drizzled on top of it. It's pretty great. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be good. And then I put one bite. I go, it's too spicy, we need more honey on it. But honey on pizza was phenomenal.
So this is the opposite of what they discovered in desserts, seemingly in the last 15 years. A little salt sometimes, on the sweet.
Yes.
Really advances all the flavors. Well, the opposite with pizza is true. A little sweet on all that kind of salt and fat cheese can actually elevate everything.
One of my favorite pizzas is pepperoni, pineapple, jalapeno.
Delicious.
So you got a little bit of everything.
A little bit
the
of everything.
Sweet,
Yeah.
spicy. It's so good.
Carlos says salt on the sweets was a game changer. Yeah, I remember the first time I had some salted caramel. What do you say?
Either way. Caramel. There's another A in there, so it's a caramel.
You say caramel?
I say caramel.
You say caramel.
Yeah.
So salted caramel. I was like, this is there's little chunks of salt on this, and I can't get enough. I'd like to add a little bit more to it.
Makes you want to go back for more.
Now I feel like I want salt on most desserts that I have. Does this dessert have salt on it? No, I want more. That's how I feel. Now I'm getting hungry again. Brandon says pineapple doesn't go on pizza. It absolutely does.
Yes, it does.
It's absolutely delicious and nutritious, and you get your fruit.
It's okay if you haven't tried it before, but try it. Give
It's
it a shot.
badass. It's so good. Nothing like it.
Speaking of pizzas, barbecue chicken pizzas, and desserts, I got invited to do something yesterday that seems very appropriate right now. I got an invitation from Sammy's at 7 Mile, our beloved 7 Mile Casino, and Sammy's. And on July 31st, they're going to be a Sammy's Messy Sunday media decorating contest to celebrate their 35th anniversary of 7 Mile Casino. And they wanted me to participate. What am I going to say? No?
Can't.
So it's going to be my job to design a brand new Messy Sunday. And I don't know all the details yet. I don't know who else is competing.
That's 3 weeks from today.
If I win, they're going to put my Sunday on the menu.
Question.
All right.
At Sammy's at 7 Mile.
Gotta make this happen.
Now, question. They invited you.
Yeah.
But we endorse 7 Mile Casino.
Correct.
Will this be the Ben and Woods Sunday, or will
I
this
don't
be the
know.
Ben
Maybe
Higgins?
you'll get a separate invitation. We'll be competing against each other.
I'll be in Hawaii, so I
well,
will
then
not be
maybe
attending.
they knew that.
Sorry.
They follow the show enough to know you're going to be gone.
I will be sucking down pina coladas somewhere out of a husked out coconut or pineapple. But I want, if you're going to do it, you have to name it Ben and Woods. Sorry.
That's fine.
Because you endorse them.
The Ben and
with
Woods Sunday is fine.
The Ben and Woods Sunday.
They have a list of.
Let's collab on it before.
There's a list of ingredients.
Really?
that
Will you
I
send
can
it to
use. Yeah, I will. I will forward you the email.
Sounds
And I'm
amazing.
also allowed to bring 2 ingredients of my own that are not on the list.
What
as long
in the
as
world?
as long as they're easily sourced, because if it goes on the menu, they want to be able to acquire the ingredients.
Not ketamine or something like
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
right? Okay.
So I'm trying to decide maybe what my special ingredients are going to be. The Messy Sundae, it's got the chocolate sauce running all over the side, but you can do other. You can do caramel or caramel or however you say it on the side, whatever you want to do. So I'm kind of starting to think about what kind of Messy Sundae I want to create.
Well, knowing you as well as I do, you're going to be thinking about this for 3 weeks straight and overthinking this. Big old scoop of Crisco lard right on the side. Delicious, smooth. I've got some ideas for you. You probably don't want them, but I'd like to see the list of ingredients as well, and maybe we can collab on that after the show. Yeah, the Ben and Woods tier 1. What did she say? Ben and Woods tier 1 ale topper. What's an ale topper? Oh, like bring the tier 1 beer. I don't want beer in my Sunday, though, I don't think.
I don't think that would. I know we're trying to mix flavors here and unique tastes that don't usually go together, but yeah, that one seems maybe not quite right.
Squirrely says butterscotch Sunday on the way.
I do like butterscotch.
God.
Butterscotch pudding sundae.
Disgusting. Well, listen, I wish you luck in that. I'll let me know how it goes. I'll be on the beach relaxing. Very, very fun month for your old pal Woods. You were telling me how long and gnarly your July is.
Partly because yours is going to be so fun. You know how that works, right?
When did things change?
Things have changed.
I feel like it wasn't that long ago. If Ben or myself took 3 out of 4 weeks off or whatever during baseball season, Woods would have us kicked off the show.
Yeah, I'm going to be missing a week.
You're missing the trade deadline.
I don't think I am. When's the trade deadline?
July 30th.
July 31st. They're the last week of July,
week
right when
you're
you're
off.
gone. Of course.
Yeah, we'll be.
Going to be big Padres news. We're going to have to call you on the beach. It'll be like 4 a.m. because you're on a time change and get your thoughts on what happens. Well, just for my...
What is it? What day? July 31st?
Just for transparency here, my colleague at Channel 10, Steve Smith, is also going to Hawaii for 2 weeks on
2
like
weeks?
a cruise
Now
of
that's
the islands.
excessive, Steve.
He's doing a cruise of the islands, and then you're going to Hawaii at basically the same time. I
All
think,
of your partners are going to Hawaii.
And so I'm being abandoned for the rest of July.
He went to Hawaii twice in
I did.
1 year.
I did.
Remember that, Paul?
I did. That
He
was
went twice
2 years
in
ago. I
1
did.
year.
I remember.
He went, he came back, and then
And then we had a
3
wedding,
weeks later,
and then
he's
there was a
like,
wedding.
I'm going back to Hawaii.
I know.
Are you kidding? So
This is karma coming back to bite me.
we had 6 years of vacation, Ben. This is year 1 of Vacation Woods. And I got to tell you, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy every second. I will call in. Of course, I'll call in and check on you guys. And if we make any big trades, I'll be there. I'll be there for you. I don't know how.
Just bring the equipment just in case.
I'm absolutely not bringing the equipment. I promise you that is not happening at all. Not in the slightest. But all right, well, let's get into it today, boys and girls in the audience, whatever you guys want to do. Take your calls today, too. We've got some time, right? We've got a good show. Ben will set up the menu.
Big League Wednesday. I'll give you the menu when we come back.
Yeah.
We'll obviously get a little bit more into last night's not unexpected loss to the Seattle Mariners. Let's just be honest
Still
about that.
suck, though.
It did still suck, and we'll talk about it all. Coming up first, a check of traffic, see how Kelly's doing with those roadways on a Wednesday morning. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
You wouldn't even wear those, would you?
I would not. I would not.
Talking about Tevas. If you're following along in the YouTube chat right now, my wife hit me up last night before you set the menu and said, hey, I want to get you some Tevas for our Hawaii trip. And I just looked at her and I said, no, not with a gun to my head would I wear Tevas. It's not for me. I don't even wear flip-flops, really. I mean, I have a pair. I like them. They're fine. Shuffling around the house and stuff. But that's the ultimate. You're done, right? You put those on, it's over.
Yeah.
If he won't wear them.
I won't wear them. I mean, I have no qualms about being unfashionable.
You have
but
zero qualms about being unfashionable.
But
even you won't wear them.
I'm a flip-flop loyalist. Rainbows, reefs. I just have the ones that I like, and I don't want all kinds of straps behind my heel and over the top of my foot.
What am I, a Roman soldier? I don't need things strapped over my feet. Like, forget it.
When I think sandals,
Maximus over here,
Fatsimus, just trying to hike around with slippery crisscrosses over my feet.
When I think like sandals, flip flops, especially you're going to Hawaii, like I think at some point your feet will be wet. Whether you're getting out of the pool, getting out of the ocean,
right?
You're putting on your sandals,
sure.
Sand. You don't need those straps. It feels like it always is like
irritating
your feet.
She's like, I think you wear them for hiking, and I go, well, I'll just wear tennis shoes for hiking, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing hiking shoes. That's for sure. I don't have hiking boots, nor do I want to put those. I'm not wearing Tevas. Like I feel like I always felt like
the problem with tennis shoes in Hawaii is if it starts raining, which it does all the time, then you kind of get all wet socks and feet.
I'm really at a loss here.
Yeah.
She's gonna end up getting them for me. She is. She's gonna jam them down my throat.
I'm looking at them. Those straps around the back of the ankles, like that looks like Blister City.
Blister City. You get sand in between the Roman soldier straps, and you're done. You're done. You're absolutely done for. So if that's kind of my barometer. Hey Ben, would you wear these Teva? If I gave them to you, would you wear them?
Probably
no, I
not.
wouldn't. Then the answer is a hard no.
I think you'd be better off in Crocs.
100%. And I have several pairs of Crocs.
Flip them into sport mode. You're
Flip
good.
them into sport mode. I'll be fine. Yeah.
Handle that hike.
You have any Crocs?
I've had them in the past. I don't think I currently have
You don't
any,
have them?
but you know me.
Okay.
Flip-flops, till the day I die.
I'm not doing it, man.
All right, before we get to the menu, it is also Wednesday morning, which means we had an incorporator last night with the one and only Jesse Agler, who yesterday joined us at 8:35 and came with his own incorporator word, a little twist on the incorporator.
Popped in my head as we were talking here, and as I'm sitting in a random parking lot in La Costa somewhere after dropping my son off at camp, I am hearing his Tamagotchi beeping away in the back seat because those are apparently back. And as annoying as ever. So I thought the word Tamagotchi might be a fun
Tamagotchi.
one
It's
to
like
try and-
okay, yeah, it's like the digital pets for kids. So Jesse said that's the word I'm going to try to work into last night's game between the Mariners and the Padres. And as it turned out, probably the highlight of the game last night was the incorporator.
Yeah.
Paulie, when did he get it in? Because I know he got it.
This was bottom of the 6th inning yesterday.
1-0 pitch, and Kim takes a strike on the outside edge. 1-1 from Logan Gilbert, who is here tonight at least, looking like something out of a different era. Like one of those things that was cool and now is again, a Tamagotchi or whatever. 1-1 pitch down the middle and a strike 1 and 2. We just don't often see guys pitching this way, this well anymore.
Yeah, something from a foregone era that has made a return. I remember when the Nintendo system made a return. All these great video games that you kids have, and that's so realistic. And all of a sudden, one year, a few years ago, they put out that Nintendo, and it had all the games downloaded on it, and it was going for like $500 at Christmas. And all these kids are sitting there playing Pitfall like we used to when we were kids, loving it. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It always comes back around. I saw Bo yesterday running down the street with a tire and a stick. He was doing the old tire
Oh, the old tire and the stick.
Yeah, from
what a
the
great game.
From the 30s. It all comes back to you. Kicking the can down the street yesterday was great. It's great.
So, yeah, I guess old school in what? The sense that he was a strike thrower, unafraid to attack the strike zone through 75% strikes, which meant the Padres really couldn't wait him out. I don't think anyone saw more than 5 pitches the entire night. And it wasn't
right?
It wasn't because they were being overly aggressive. I mean, it's either you swing early or you fall behind 0-2. Yeah, those were your two choices against Logan Gilbert. And if you swung early, you're probably going to ground out because he was hitting the corners of the zone and keeping it down. And he's got there's a reason he was an all-star last night.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
You're tipping your hat, aren't you?
No. A little bit.
All right.
A little bit. I mean, the Padres did end up scoring 3 runs. The way to beat a guy like that is, eventually you get a swing or two against him. They did. Couple of home runs. Jake got one. We'll talk about the game coming up in our Padres wrap-up. But to do that, it requires, of course, you have to keep the other team in check. And Adam Mazur couldn't do that. We will talk about the Padres' continued pitching depth struggles here in our Padres wrap-up in our next segment.
You got to tip your hat.
Yep. 7 o'clock hour, our Take on Woods normal features. Don't do this. Big 12 Media Day featured I think an all-timer. Don't do this yesterday from a classic Ben and Woods figure in Mike Gundy.
He's out of his mind, isn't he?
Completely out of his mind.
Completely.
But that's his
lost
brand.
his mind.
Like he feels like he can get away with being out of his mind because he's Mike Gundy.
Well, and he has for many years. Yeah.
Yes. It is a big league Wednesday.
I'm
He's
40.
40.
You got to
Now
play
he's
his greatest hits at some point.
now he's what, 50-something?
I give a rat's ass about Twitter. He's amazing.
I give a rat's ass about Twitter.
If you did,
you'd be in it.
Right now, you'd be in it after what you said yesterday.
Yeah.
So, Mike Gundy in our Don't Do This segment. It's a big league Wednesday. We will catch up with Adam Jones. It's been a couple of weeks. He will join us. I know he was tweeting about it earlier at 7:35 this morning. And then Bret Boone, our Odyssey insider, former big leaguer, host of the Bret Boone podcast, will join us at 8:35 this morning. Got our Reindl Report at 9. Got some more Fogarty tickets to give away. You don't have your guitar anymore to play more Fogarty, but we'll figure out a way to do that as well. And then look ahead to hopefully, Padres been able to at least split this 2-game series today in a kind of a strange start time. We got a 3:40 start this afternoon.
I'm feeling it a little bit, actually.
Kind of a modified getaway day for the Mariners to get out of town with Michael King and Bryce Miller at 3:40. So we'll look ahead to today's game. But that's your menu for you. We will come back with our Padres wrap-up next. Highlights of the 8-3 loss. We'll talk about Adam Mazur's struggles and more. All coming up with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Sour 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by the Frozen Ropes Baseball and Softball Training Facilities. Frozen Ropes now signing up athletes aged 6 through 12 for baseball and softball summer camps. Half-day, full-day options available. Make it a Frozen Ropes summer. For more information, visit SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. That's SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. We did have a player in studio yesterday. He was terrific. If you missed it, Kyle Higashioka came in, jammed on the guitar, then went out and hit a home run last night.
I was so relieved after he K'd in his first AB. 5, if I said.
Now realize that
It's a trooper. by
I know
Iron Maiden.
that what who we talk to has no impact on performance, but I don't know that the players always realize that. So I wanted Kyle Higashioka to have a good feeling. Like if he went out and went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts the day he came in and visited Ben and Woods in the studio, it's going to be hard for him to separate those two things. So I'm really happy that he hit a home run in the game yesterday. So now he knows, hey, the day I went in and jammed with those guys, I hit a home run. He can feel good about that going forward. We didn't do anything to help him.
Not a damn thing.
Not anything at all. I'm taking zero credit.
I'm taking zero credit and zero blame.
I'm just glad we're getting no blame from anybody, hopefully. Now,
Yeah,
they did lose the game.
They
but
lost the game, but I fully could see the tweets coming out. Oh, maybe he should have been in the cages instead of playing guitar.
Maybe
with
he
you
should have
guys.
brought more of his teammates with him, so they all could have played better last night like he did.
Maybe get Manny in here, play the guitar, since Manny is after Friday night has just been not great.
All right, we'll get to the Padres wrap-up, talk about Adam Mazur's performance right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Air Max, San Diego's highest-rated heating and air company. Visit them at airmax.com. Not much going on out here, guys. One hazard in the North County I want to let you know about, though. This is apparently a power line that is down in lanes at West Villa Rancho Parkway at Del Dios Highway. Looking for the best in HVAC? Choose Air Max, San Diego's highest-rated heating and air company, with free diagnostics on all repairs and estimates. See why over 1,300 happy customers have given Air Max 5-star Yelp reviews. See Air Max today at airmax.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's a shame if they lose.
Oh, a shame indeed.
It's a complete crap.
Oh, I did not like that.
Here are the lowlights from yesterday's game.
Are you kidding me?
Boo.
It's the Padres Wrap-Up, presented by Hamul Casino. With thrilling slots and tables and all the best rewards, Hamul Casino has all the fun you're looking for. Hamul Casino, fun above all else.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the bump and figure it out.
It's not your fault.
For the Mariners this year, most in baseball, as Rodriguez bounces one through the left side, a base hit. Crawford rounding third on his way. The throw and the tag, not in time. Bang, bang at the plate. Higashioka did a nice job kind of acting like the throw wasn't coming in, but J.P. Crawford never let off the gas. Profar nearly got him. It's an RBI single and a 1-0 Seattle lead. Here's the pitch. And a curveball hit in the air to right field and deep. Peralta's backing up. He is at the wall. It's going to go. 2-run home run for Cal Raleigh. He almost passed Rodriguez near first base. J-Rod had gone back. Had Peralta made that catch, he might have been trying to tag from first to second base, but it is a home run. Raleigh did not pass him. A 2-run shot and a 4-0 game in the third. This one hit a mile to the left. Oh, boy. Up above the line score on the second deck for Julio Rodriguez. That is hard of a hit ball as we have seen this year. 411 feet and a 5-0 Mariner lead. J-Rod is now 3 for 3. That is his 9th home run of the season.
Yeah, that ball is absolutely crushed.
Runner on third, 1 out, so the infield now in. And the 1-1 pitch is golfed in the air to deep left field. Profar turns around, gonna go. Line drive, home run, Cal Raleigh, his second of the night. A 2-run shot and a 7-0 Seattle lead. Here's the 0-1, and Cronenworth hits it in the air to deep right field. This one is way back. Gonna go over the Petco porch. Second hit of the night for the Padres will break up the shutout. A solo homer for Cronenworth, his 13th of the season. 1-1. Higashioka swings, hits it in the air to deep left field. Moore is racing back. He'll watch. Gonna go! Number 11 for Higashioka. That is a new career high. 2-run shot in the 8th, and it's 7-3. There's the 1-2. Manny swings, hits a ground ball to third. Charged by Rojas. Little trouble getting it out of his glove to second one. On to first in time, and a double play to end the game. Padres got a base runner in the bottom of the 9th inning, but that is that, as the Mariners take game 1 of this 2-game set by a final of 8-3 behind one of the best pitching performances we have seen against the Pods here this season. Final score, Seattle 8 and the Padres 3.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. He was good. I mean, Gilbert threw the ball well. He's an all-star for a reason. He's got a really, really nice arm. Good life on his ball tonight. Was throwing it where he wanted to. Secondary was working. The guy was really, really good. Crony got him, and that was a good swing, obviously. And of course, Higgy. We started getting to him late, but it was too late.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Ran
too late.
out of time.
Too late.
Yeah. Had we played 17, 18 innings and Logan Gilbert stayed in, we may win that game.
Force him to throw 17 innings.
But then again, I don't know.
Padres also would have run out of pitching
we would
as
need
well.
somebody to get outs as well, which again continues to be a really, really tough look for the Padres bullpen, Ben. And funnily enough, I mean, the guy that 3 weeks into the season, everyone was saying, why is he here? Stephen Kolek quietly putting together just good outing after good outing now. And again, it's in low leverage situations. It's fine.
I'm liking Austin Davis. I mean,
he had a rough one the other night, but it's the nature of the beast, man. He's a young kid too. But Kolek has been stringing together some decent outings. In fact, I rarely do this anymore because it's such a fool's errand to go, well, I really would have liked to see so-and-so here, because it doesn't really matter with this Padres bullpen in its current state. But I'm looking at that going, all right, this is the things I was thinking about in my head, and I wonder if Mike Schilt was thinking the same. And walk with me here. We're down 5-0, I think, at the time, in the 5th.
Correct.
And I go, all right, I mean, we have been the comeback kids, but Gilbert's thrown 35 pitches or something by the 5th. Doesn't look like he's coming out anytime soon. Why don't we shut this mother down tonight? We'll see what we can do, see if we can scratch something out. But I'm not going to use guys that are on decent runs like Stephen Kolek. I'm going to go use my Enyel De Los Santoses, guys like that. I actually started to put Stephen Kolek move him out of this bucket and put him into a more high leverage bucket. So I was actually disappointed to see him come in last night. Yuki Matsui. Bro, he had been good in really low leverage situations. That was one. He wasn't good again. I don't know what you do if you're A.J. Preller or if you're Mike Schilt right now, when you have 2, maybe 3 arms that you can rely on. And certainly don't use those arms in that game. They never will say, ever, we're punting on this game. We're punting. But sometimes you have to say, all right, Enyel, this is where you need to go out and do it. Yuki, whatever, see what you can do. But, yeah, they didn't use Morejon. They didn't use Estrada. They didn't use Suarez. That's good. But I actually put Kolek in the bucket with those guys now.
Good for Kolek. The bullpen didn't lose that game, though.
No.
That's, the game was already lost.
Right. That's what
before
I'm saying.
the bullpen came in.
Since the game was already lost, you live to fight another day today and have better relievers going into today.
They ended up using De Los Santos and Peralta, which now they could be down another reliever because Wandy Peralta, he didn't stay for the end of the game, had to come out with what looked kind of like a groin injury. I think Mike Schilt called it an adductor, issue, and they'll know more tomorrow. But my guess is that Wandy Peralta is going to be down at least until probably the All-Star break.
Wandy Peralta?
Or Wandy Rodriguez?
Wandy Peralta.
Oh, it's not. Wandy Rodriguez is what I saw on the flagships.
I think someone got their wires crossed between Julio Rodriguez doing all the damage and Wandy Peralta getting injured in the 9th inning, which then forced De Los Santos to throw 7 pitches to get the last out.
Now,
he didn't look good either. He gave up 2 scorching liners. They fortunately only had to get 1 out to get out of the inning. So, yeah, the bullpen remains an issue. But the game was lost by the starting pitcher, Adam Mazur, who gave up runs in the 1st, 2nd, third, and fifth. Ended up going 4 2/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs. Did strike out 6 against the team that strikes out more than any other in baseball.
Your tweet was sarcastic, yes?
Very sarcastic.
I don't think people got that it was.
That's why I put the exclamation point at the end. Congratulations to Adam Azier on his career-high 6 strikeouts.
You were very spicy last night, and I like it. I like that when you get
and
spicy.
you know what? I feel bad about it because I don't actually have any ill will toward Adam Azier. And I don't really have any ill will toward the Padres. Adam Azier is being put in a situation he's not ready for by a Padres organization that really has no choice other than to put him there. There aren't really good options. At AAA, there's no one who's throwing well. I mean, you got Jackson Wolf down there. He's not looking good. Robbie Snelling has not pitched well in the minor leagues. He doesn't look like he's ready.
Brito has not been good.
Brito went down to try to become a starter. He's gotten absolutely lit up while he's down there. They just signed Carl Edwards. He started yesterday, gave up like 7 runs.
He started?
He started. They just have not been able to find another option. So Adam Azier, as not great as he's been, has generally gotten into the 4th, 5th inning. And right now that's kind of all they're hoping for out of that 5th starter. They actually won the last 3 games that Adam Azier start.
And the last,
because they scored a ton of
10 runs, yeah.
Which, I mean, at least they won those games when they scored 10 runs. At the very least, he kept them to, in the 4 to 6 range, that if your offense has a great day, you have a chance to win. Didn't have a great day yesterday. You're not going to beat an all-star pitcher with Adam Azier on the mound, which is why yesterday's game was kind of one of those white flag sort of games. And as I said, I thought it was over at the first batter. When Adam Azier put the first guy on in the first inning, you just got the sense that this was not going to be his night or the Padres' night. And I know that Mike Schilt will then come out and defend him and say, I mean, it was close. He was close. I thought he kind of stabilized himself a little bit, then gave up that last run. That's what he has to say. I think if you're giving everybody truth serum from A.J. Preller on down, they know Adam Azier shouldn't be here. Should be back in the minor leagues, continuing to hopefully hone his craft, come back up, later this year or next year, and maybe be a competent starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. He's got some tools, but he's not ready yet. He's just not ready yet. And the Padres, unfortunately, due to injuries and a lack of depth, which I saw a lot of people, criticizing A.J. Preller for his roster construction. When you cut $90 million from the payroll, depth is the first thing that goes. You're hoping just to have start.
Brilliant.
When you're taking that kind of money off the payroll, you're scrambling for start.
Yeah, we need start.
And depth is now a luxury that you can't afford anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and if you think about some of the guys that they moved, the Drew Thorpes of the world, that he's actually pitching pretty well for Chicago. But he got you Dylan Cease, who is at least...
He got you start.
And he got you start.
But you cost yourself depth.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I don't know. I mean, at some point, two of these pitchers are going to have to develop, and we're going to need them for innings this season, as it looks right now. I don't know that you can go out and acquire 2-3 starters, another bullpen guy for what you have in the minor leagues. Obviously, without giving up it, I do get the sense it will probably be a one-stop shop, like the Nationals are selling. Okay, great. You eat some of his contract, we'll take him as a starter, we'll take him at the back end, we'll give you this and this. And I think you can get it all in one place. I think there's plenty of teams to choose from. The Texas Rangers are another one. It just depends.
They've won 5 in a row.
They have. They have.
It's just making all these trades even harder.
It does. It really does, man. So I think it's hard to be patient. I understand that. But 4 more games until the break. They'll 100% reassess where they are at that point and try to figure it out. It's going to be a white knuckle these last 4 games, though.
I saw some people suggest, well, why didn't you just skip over Mazier, have Michael King start, on regular rest and not have Mazier go. Ultimately, though, they're worried about Michael King's innings as well. They see the All-Star break as an opportunity to give him a little extra time off and hopefully get him deeper into the season without stretching him way beyond where he's ever been. I mean, he's going to get there anyway.
No, I believe he's already over it.
But he's over it.
And
it's just a matter of how far beyond his career innings high he's going to get at this point. But they're not going They're not going to just willy-nilly throw more innings at Michael King.
No, they're not going to ride him to
They're doing that with Dylan Cease. They changed their rotation to get Dylan Cease an extra start before the break on Sunday. He's the workhorse. He's the guy they're going to ask for more. It's not going to be Michael King who they ask for more right now. Maybe Waldron can do a little bit more, but he's not the knuckleballer who's just the rubber arm guy that can always come back. He still throws 93. He throws the knuckleball with a lot of effort. So he's not it's Tim Wakefield. He can go out, he can pitch 4 times in a week if we needed to. Matt Waldron's not that guy either. So they have to be careful with some of these other younger pitchers who have not thrown a ton of innings other than Dylan Cease. And, I think they hopefully realize Adam Mazur won't be one of those pitchers in the second half of the season, either because of a trade or maybe, Yu Darvish and or Joe Musgrove comes back. Mazur will be the first one to go, but right now they just don't have anybody else.
Do you, when you watch Adam Mazur pitch, and you guys can weigh in on the chat or on Twitter as well, when you watch Adam Mazur pitch, do you say, yeah, he's just a little bit rough around the edges, but I think eventually he can be a big help to this team? Maybe out of the bullpen? I have no idea.
I think if he gets his command dialed in, there's something there. The problem right now is twofold. The command is not good. He can't put the pitches where he wants to. And the opposing batters are just way too comfortable up there.
Too comfortable.
Way too comfortable.
They talked about it last night on the broadcast that, can't land his fastball, they're sitting breaking ball. Can't land his breaking ball, they're sitting fastball. I mean, big league hitters are really, really good. When you can 100% subtract a pitch, when you go up for your approach and say, if it spins, I'm not swinging at it. So if it's straight, I'm swinging.
Or I'm looking for spin on the first pitch. We saw that happen, too.
Yeah.
This is something every team deals with because I feel like it happens to the Padres all the time.
No, it does. It does.
Every year we're like, what is this? This guy shouldn't even be up here, but we got nobody else.
You don't hear about it as much from other teams because you're not living through the fifth starter, with other teams as much. You just kind of ignore those games.
You've had guys come up and make a spot start out of necessity. This has been, 7 spot starts, basically?
Yeah.
He's just not ready.
It just goes to show you what you don't have right now, and nobody else really knocking on the door either. I'll see, this Sean Reynolds had one good outing, or this guy had one good outing, and all right, so it's not as easy as we like to think it is. Of those, bring him up, send him down, bring him up, send him down. I mean, there has to be a lot that goes into getting somebody prepared to pitch at the big league level for the first time. Stuff that we have no idea about. It's not as easy as just, let's give this guy a shot, give this guy a shot. But somebody needs to step up and earn it, because if you're a minor leaguer for the San Diego Padres and you're a pitcher, there's innings to be had. Do you want to pitch in the big leagues? It's right there in front of you. You can go get it.
Question. Did both of you make it all the way through the bottom of the ninth yesterday?
Yeah, I made it all the way through.
Paulie did not. All right, if you didn't, and I imagine there's a few people out there who did not.
I like the pain.
You missed a little spiciness in the bottom of the ninth inning that could possibly carry over into today's game.
You'll never guess who it's involving. Good God, man. I love it.
We'll talk about that coming up next. We'll play a little Take on Woods, try to qualify another listener for a trip to Las Vegas. All coming up in hour number 2. Don't go away. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. It's a Big League Wednesday. Adam Jones will be with us live from, well, I won't spoil it. Where in the world is Adam Jones? Coming up at the bottom of the hour at 7:35. Before that, don't do this. We got Take on Woods later this segment. If you want to get in early, feel free to give us a call, 833-288-0973. Did have some spiciness in the ninth inning, just a little bit. And as you teased, Woods, of course, it involved the Padres, Jurickson Profar.
Yeah.
And, Jurickson is, I think partly there's some legitimate disrespect that has been thrown Jurickson's way, from Will Smith early in the season to just the fact that, he's surprised people being an 11-year veteran of the big leagues and doing what he's doing. There are some doubters that didn't see this coming from Jurickson Profar, and he's demanding the respect that he has earned this year.
He's not really demanding anything. He's really letting, in my opinion, like with the whole Will Smith irrelevant thing, what did he say after? Okay. And went out and hit a bomb. He has really let his bat do the talking.
As he did against the Washington Nationals.
When he stepped to the plate and negative WAR catcher, Keibert Ruiz, poked him in the chest. What did Jurickson do? Did he fight back? Did he put his hands on him? No, he didn't. He let his bat do the talking.
Which is why, if the pattern holds, expect Jurickson Profar to probably hit a home run today.
I did not understand this, and like I said, I did make it to that last night.
So,
and it just they glossed over it a little bit.
They did a little bit. So as far as I can tell, Jurickson came up in the ninth against Mariners reliever Gregory Santos.
It was his first appearance for the M's. They acquired him, and he had been on the IL.
He threw a couple of pitches inside at Jurickson. Jurickson reacted as Jurickson does. It wasn't like charging the mound, but it was like, he was a little bothered by it. It's not a close game in the end. It's like, hey, let's not make this. Let's be a little careful here. It's an 8-3 game in the ninth inning, and then Jurickson hit a ground ball to the first baseman, which required Santos to go over and cover first base. When Santos got there first, it wasn't a difficult play. He touched first base, and then instead of doing what most pitchers do and then bouncing back in to get out of the way of the runner, Santos very purposely stayed right on the first base line.
Had him by a mile.
To create a run-in with Jurickson Profar. Jurickson, of course, ran through the base, which caused the two of them to just basically bump elbows as they went by. And I saw some people go, there's Jurickson. It wasn't on Jurickson. It was on Santos not getting out of the way, not being where he should. And to the credit of the umpire, and I think it was the crew chief. I forget who it was.
Was it Eddings?
Eddings. He immediately went to Santos and goes, don't do that. He went right up and pointed at him. He chewed him out on the field, a player on the field. The game's not over yet.
Yeah.
And he said, don't do that. I see what you're doing. You're looking for a confrontation.
You're looking for a fight here.
You went and tried to start something, which Jurickson didn't. He did what he always does. He said, you know what? I remember this, and I will let my bat do the talking today. But the umpire was on to him. He was like, I see what you're doing. You're trying to show up Jurickson, or you're trying to create a run-in at first base. Nothing happened other than the umpire scolding pitcher Gregory Santos of the Seattle Mariners.
Yes.
Jurickson will remember that today.
No question about it. No question about it. Yeah, it was pretty. A couple pitches inside. Jurickson reacts, does his thing, drops the bat at one point. He has fun playing the game of baseball always, and I think the same can be said for Gregory Santos. I think these guys are competitors and they're competing and having fun. But it was fairly unnecessary last night. But listen. Whatever he needs to motivate him to have a good game today, I'm all about it. I'd like to go out and split this series today, Benji. Pretty important.
Yeah. Should we have faith at this point is my question.
Yeah, I think we should.
Every time the Padres have had streaks like this, lose 3 in a row, lost 4 in a row, lost 5. They've done these streaks. But every time they've bounced out of it.
What are they at, 3 now?
They're at 3.
3.
They've figured out a way to respond, usually involving Jurickson Profar or someone like that stepping up big.
I just watched everything that happened. I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
That That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
It was a nothing burger.
Nothing. Yeah. Don't say nothing burger.
That's what it was.
I know.
But Jurickson will file that away.
Yeah, I'm more talking about like Santos. Like, calm down, guy.
Yeah, relax, bud. This is his first game back. First game back. His first appearance for the M's. He was, like I said, he was on the IL. He's back. He's fired up. All right, cool. You go up and in. I mean, people are going to give you a look.
We as fans have trouble trusting that this Padres team is different, though, don't we?
I don't. I don't know.
Doesn't it feel like every 3-game losing streak could be the beginning of the end?
Well, yeah. I mean, I said yesterday we're on the razor's edge, and we are. But
and that's what bothers Mike Schilt the most of all.
When we say they're on the razor's edge?
Well, just the fact that he knows that we all feel it. Like, this is the beginning of the end. This is it. We've been waiting all season that the other shoe's going to drop.
Man, They're
going to step off the cliff. This is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This team is finally going to disappoint us the way we've always been expecting. Well, I think that's what bothers Mike Schilt the most, because he's going, all right, I've been here. This is my first season. Every time we have struggled, which every team does, and he's right about that when he says that, we have then bounced back and responded, as well as any team in baseball. So when are we going to actually believe in this team?
When it's over. Honestly, I mean, I do believe. I am a believer. I said yesterday this team deserves a shot. And I still feel that way. I feel like they deserve a shot. I feel like A.J. Preller needs to go out and make moves. Again, do what you got to do, all right? But I would not like to see Leo traded. I would not like to see Salas traded. But whatever you can do with the rest of what you have and whatever financial ability you have to make it work, yes, they need to see that you believe in them like you have in years past. Because this is the team that's given forth the most effort. It's not always great. It's not always pretty. Sometimes it's crap. Like last night was crap. But I do believe in this team. I really do. I'm starting to get the feeling that I had a couple of years of like, don't worry about it. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Now, we may run out of pitching, Ben. Weird things happen in baseball. Some of the teams that we had written off for dead, like the Arizona Diamondbacks, the San Francisco Giants, they're hanging around. Some of the teams that I thought were going to come out rolling this year, like the Chicago Cubs, they've been terrible. The New York Yankees are currently the worst team in baseball. They're on one of the gnarliest streaks you have ever seen from them.
That gives me pause. If the Yankees can lose 17 of 23, then the Padres certainly can.
Sure.
If the Padres did that would be a 6-17 stretch. They would go from 6 games over, where they were 3 days ago, to 5 games under, and all of a sudden at the bottom of the wild card race. You can't afford a stretch like the Yankees are having right now if you're the Padres. The Yankees actually can.
They could, yeah.
They had enough in the bank that they can afford it, and they can still bounce back. Padres would have trouble bouncing back from 17 of 23 right now.
It's tough because you think about the teams that we buried, and there's so many of them. The Red Sox, I had them buried. The Twins, buried. I didn't think the Guardians were going to do much this year, buried. I had the Astros buried, dead and buried. Rangers, like you just said, have won 5 in a row. Had them buried. There's a ton. I mean, there's a ton. The Mets were done. Cohen was selling everything. They're back to 500 right now. And, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wacky. They're going to need to figure out a way to just be a little bit more consistent. I know it's so much easier said from my chair than it is from Mike Schiltz, but he needs to understand, too, he's only as good as yesterday's game. That's it. And when he went to bed last night, he went to bed with a loss. And he's got to figure out how to get a win today so that he can go to bed tonight with a win. That's it. You just got to figure out how to win one game at a time. I know it's corny. I know it's cliche. It's the only way to live. It's really the only way this team can live moving forward. You can't really worry about what the other teams are doing. You got to beat the teams in front of you.
We need a contestant for Take on Woods. Calling now, 833-288-0973. We're going to play in like 1 minute. I just think today's game's kind of fascinating because if they bounce back and they win, split the series, and someone has a big hit, will once again be affirmed with what we've seen with our own eyes all year. This team has heart, this team has fight, and this team is not going to back down. But I know there's a part of us as Padres fans that are going, all right, this is it. They're going to lose. It's 4 in a row. They get the Braves coming in. Who knows? This could be a losing streak. They could be under 500 at the All-Star break. If they lose all 4, they will be a game under 500 at the All-Star break. And all the good work that they did for 3 months will be evaporated
Now-
in like a week and a half.
Now,
and
when-
I know we feel that way.
When you start the second half, where I get a little bit dicey is having seen this team go off a cliff for a few years in the second half, and we turned it on late last year and all that. I barely paid attention at the end of the stretch last year because I just didn't think we were going to make it. But
well, if Adam Azier makes another 10 starts the rest of the year,
probably toast.
they're in trouble.
Yeah,
they
for
do
sure.
need to figure that out.
Yeah,
but
they
they
do.
know that too.
They know that.
We're not begging. Please understand that Adam Azier is not good enough. They know that. They're working on it. They just don't have the solution yet.
It's also so tough because what do you do if you're AJ Preller? You can't sell the entire farm just to only get a couple of pieces that'll maybe not even get you out of the wild card round.
Maybe not. Yeah, I mean,
Like you got to really, if you're going to go for it, you got to really go for it.
the only thing that you can do too is you need to work on trying to find guys like you have before. You've been really good at finding guys with multiple years of control, right? The rental thing, that feels odd to me. Going out and getting a 6-month
You
rental.
can't trade DeVries or Salmons for a rental.
No,
just to get a wild card that maybe 2 games and you're done.
Bro,
that's
short-sighted.
short-sighted.
Now you get a guy who's got 3 years left to control at a reasonable price.
Okay, we can talk about
that a little bit, but that's doable.
Well, let's talk about that
Scooble
a little
is
bit
doable.
later. Right now, let's play Take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It only takes 15 minutes. You don't have to get out of your car. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. Taking a line at random. Caller, you're on the air. Who is this? Jared. Did I hear you right? Jared?
Yes, sir.
All right, you calling in for Take on Woods?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're our contestant. Good luck. If you can beat or tie Woods, you will qualify for our grand prize drawing. Get away to Las Vegas, 2 nights at the Rio, dinner for 2, a day bet at the Rio pool. The Rio is back, new ownership, newly remodeled rooms, 4 new sparkling pools, and a brand new food hall. Book now at RioLasVegas.com. Here are the categories you choose from. We got Rush, all about the band Rush. Oh Boy, 5 song titles, including the word boy or boys. And our new category, Seen and Heard, 5 song titles that include either the word seen or the word heard. So Rush, Oh Boy, or Seen and Heard. Jared, what would you like to play?
Well, let's go ahead and take that Rush category off the board.
Rush! All right, you're getting Rushified today with 5 questions all about the band Rush. You'll have 60 seconds. Answer as many as you can. You can pass. If you don't know one, we'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. First question's the 2-second song. Paulie is going to play a Rush song. So all you need to do is give me the title, not even the artist. We know the artist to score that point, and we'll go on from there. We'll compare your score with Woods when he comes in and plays. Beat or tie him, put you into the drawing for Las Vegas. Jared, are you ready to play?
Copy that, ready to go.
All right. Sounds like a Rush fan. Paulie, you good to go?
I'm
All right,
ready.
60 seconds on the clock. Category is Rush. Jared, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck, Jared. Let's take on Woods.
The radio by Rush.
Correct. Drummer Neil Peart wrote which early Rush hit about his first trip away from home in Canada on a red-eye to England?
Fly by Night.
Fly By Night, correct. Rush lead singer Gary Weinrib performs under which stage name?
Jackie Lee.
Correct. Many Rush songs were influenced by the writer of which controversial author famous for novels The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged? It's not Tom Sawyer, but which 1982 late addition to the Signals album that is Rush's only top 40 charting hit in the United States?
Can you read the last question again?
It's not Tom Sawyer, but which 1982 late addition to the Signals album is Rush's only top 40 charting hit in the United States? All right, you got 3. They get a little tougher at the end. You got The Spirit of Radio, Fly By Night, and Geddy Lee. Ayn Rand is the writer that inspired Rush, Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, and New World Man is the last one. All right, let's see how much Rush Woods knows. He doesn't get the category, although I doubt it's going to make much of a difference here. He'll figure this one out pretty quickly. Jared's score is locked in. Jared, stay on the line. 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Jared.
That is Spirit of Radio by Rush.
Correct. Drummer Neil Peart wrote which early Rush hit about his first trip away from home in Canada on a red-eye to England?
Fly By Night?
Correct. Rush lead singer Gary Weinrib performs under which stage name?
Geddy Lee.
Correct. Many Rush songs were influenced by the writer of which controversial novels The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged?
Oh, that is Kafka? No, it's not Kafka. I'm out.
It's not Tom Sawyer, but which 1982 late addition to the Signals album that is Rush's only top 40 charting hit in the United States?
Free Will?
Incorrect.
Damn it.
Which means you got a tie. Jared? 3-3. You both missed the last two.
Fountainhead is, it's not Kafka.
No.
It's,
a little more modern than that, I think.
Ford.
Short name. Woman.
Ayn Rand.
Yes.
Yeah, Ayn Rand.
Jared, congratulations. Stay on the line. Paul will get
song?
your information. New World Man is the only top 40.
Sid and I have gotten pretty good at a couple of Rush songs.
What do you mean, like fast-paced rock?
No,
like Rush.
The band.
Like the band Rush.
I don't know them.
The Holy Triumvirate. Wait, you don't know Rush?
No.
How do you not know Rush?
You don't know Rush, the
No.
band?
Mm-mm.
Exit the Warrior, today's Tom Sawyer.
No.
All right, I'm gonna hit you up with iTunes Action. Hey, let me ask you something. Are you ready to get your world rocked?
Ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
Do it.
You want to get some Neil Peart all up in you?
I don't know.
Well, prepare to be Rushified.
So good.
Congratulations, Jared. You are into the drawing.
She was a bit of a nightmare in that movie. I'm going to be honest with you. She's one of my number one movie villains of all time. I can make a case. Let's do it during spring break next week.
Sounds good.
Unlikely or like
villains
not often,
you didn't know
not
were
often
villains.
thought of
She's a villain.
villains.
Straight up.
She's a movie villain.
How you can do that to that guy? The nicest guy on the planet. We'll talk about it.
We'll do Don't Do This next, though. Mike
Oh,
Gundy's
my
pretty
God.
much a
Come
college
on,
football
bro.
villain,
What are you doing?
even if he doesn't realize it. Get to that coming up next after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. Don't Do This, brought to you by the Craft Taco in Sorrento Valley. Craft Taco has some of the best quality tacos in all of San Diego. Go to thecrafttaco.com. Take a look at their happy hour specials today. Crafttaco.com. Let's get right to it. Media days are underway. Big 12 Media Day started yesterday. Mountain West Media Day is underway today. And, of course, how these work in college football is generally the head coach and a couple of players show up, all get together where the media can gather and ask questions about the upcoming season. Well, Oklahoma State head coach Mike Gundy made the first headlines of the year, the wrong kind of headlines at Big 12 Media Day, when he brought along with him to represent the Cowboys star running back Ollie Gordon II. Problem here is that Gordon, on June 30th, so what, about a week ago, was arrested on suspicion of DUI. Had a blood alcohol level of 0.1, above the legal limit of 0.08. But Gundy has already decided there's not going to be any suspension, no playing time missed. In fact, didn't even say you can't come to Vegas with me for the media days. You're still coming. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it's coach's prerogative, I guess. But then things get a little bit weird when Mike Gundy is asked the question, so what's going on with Ollie here, and why is he here? And here's what Mike Gundy had to say.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life.
Oh,
and I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, "You're lucky you got out light."
Oh my God.
Because you make a lot of money to play football.
Okay, well, that's one way to go there.
Holy crap!
I mean,
I
he's not a
probably
hypocrite.
drove drunk 1,000 times.
He's not a hypocrite. I can't punish you for something that I've done 1,000 times in my life.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
It's not good.
Imagine being a parent. You can't punish your child because they did something you've done 1,000 times, right? That doesn't work. Be better. Be better than me. Be better than I was.
Yeah, it's just it's 2 or 3 beers, maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
I mean, it's a big deal here.
Holy crap, man!
Ouch.
It's a bold strategy. He did say, oh, his punishment is going to be to carry the ball 50 times in our first game.
There you go.
Quite a punishment. Which, by the way, every running back is like, yes, punish me more. I want the ball every single time. Holy cow, dude. That's an interesting one. This one, a little bit of resolution, I think, has come to light. Wander Franco has been on administrative leave, right? Former Tampa Bay Rays shortstop Wander Franco. Now, he was on administrative leave because he was charged with sexual abuse and sexual exploitation against a minor in the Dominican Republic. Now, he has been formally charged. So it was kind of hanging up in the air to see if prosecutors were going to actually charge him. Well, now they have. And he is in some hot water, Ben. He was initially accused last year. The mother of the girl, the girl was 14 years old when the alleged relationship began. She also faces a charge of sexual exploitation and money laundering. ESPN obtained a 600-page document that's got evidence, transcripts of interviews with the girl, her relatives, messages between Franco and the girl. And we saw some of them when this came out, some of the messages that I think Wander had sent this girl. And it's as bad as you can imagine. So
the bottom line here is Wander Franco's not returning anytime soon. In fact, maybe never.
Probably never.
And throwing away just what was such a promising career with so much talent.
Yeah, it's awful, dude. And I hope that girl and the fact that her mother was kind of involved in it too is just so gross, man.
Now I wonder what would be the decision if Mike Gundy were in charge of disciplining.
That's something I've done 1,000 times. Excuse me, sir. You need
Who among us?
Who among us?
You're going to need to see the authorities. Holy cow, man. Crazy.
All right, finally a little do this on a Wednesday.
DD mega doo-doo.
You know I love to cheer for the local story, the local athlete in the big-time event. So I will just send some good wishes to Torrey Pines High alum Taylor Fritz, who is in the Wimbledon quarterfinals right now and looking for his first ever Grand Slam semifinal.
Sick.
It's the 13th seed. He is taking on the 25th seed, Lorenzo Musetti of Italy. And they're in the first set. It is 1-1 very early, but I can kind of keep you updated.
Can you put it on in here?
On the
like
tennis, yeah, we
Wimbledon.
probably can put it on ESPN or ESPN2. But Taylor Fritz has never gotten to a semifinal before. Should be the top-ranked American man again. Tommy Paul was the other American man. He lost yesterday in the quarterfinals. So Taylor Fritz with the red, white, and blue pride trying to get to against Italy, trying to get to the semifinals of Wimbledon today, and he just won the game 3, so he's up 2-1 in the first set.
Nice. Pulling for him as well.
Don't and do this for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, Big League Wednesday.
Got a quick shout-out, Benny. Asher, one of our Tier 1s. Jennifer is his mother. She said, would you shout out my son on his 6th birthday? Today's his 6th birthday. I got a 6-year-old. Of course I will do it. Asher, happy birthday to you, buddy.
As long as we're doing it now, then I will do a shout-out for my son, Graham, who is 19 years old today.
Is that right?
Yes.
Happy birthday, Graham.
Asher and Graham.
Graham
both with
fascinates me. He's a bass player.
Birthday shout-outs to all of them.
Love it. Happy birthday.
All right, Big League Wednesday. Where in the world is Adam Jones? We will find out. It's got domestic appearance today for Adam Jones. Coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. This hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. From a healthier weight to more energy, when you switch your dog's food to the Farmer's Dog, the effects can feel magical. What sorcery is this? None at all. It's just real food made for the health of dogs. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio. We got a Big League Wednesday and a domestic version of Where in the World is Adam Jones coming up right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Drive-Thru Oil Change, your trusted instant drive-thru oil change. Just one problem here. Cordell and Cordell traffic cam shows a two-car collision on northbound 15 past Rancho Bernardo Road. It's over the right shoulder. Stop by any of the 30 San Diego Valvoline Instant Oil Change centers. You don't have to get out of your car. Usually only takes 15 minutes or less. Plus, get a free courtesy check of your tires and battery. Visit SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick at Bentonwood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The.
All right, let's go out and find out exactly where Adam Jones is this morning. It's been a couple of weeks. AJ, good to chat with you as always.
Hey, gentlemen, I miss you guys. Sorry for last.
It's all right.
Hot.
That's all right. His phone's
hot.
It's hot.
Where are you?
I'm in Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Home of
I
crab
come out, see
cakes.
some family, see some people. Had a really good dinner last night with friends, and just back here and back in the States, and here for the summer.
Now, I don't know. Oh, you're there for the summer. Okay, cool. I don't know. Are the Orioles in town right now? Are they at home? Do you watch them
Yeah, they were
play?
hosting the Cubs yesterday.
Okay.
Yes, they're hosting the Cubs. It's too hot for me to go out to the game. I'd rather just relax. It's too hot, man. I'm gonna watch it with some friends at the house and just be at home and just relax. I'm coming out to San Diego August 9th. We have a big event for Tony Gwynn. We're honoring the 25th year of 3,000 hits. So it's going to be really, really special.
So the Baltimore Orioles have been able to take advantage of the Yankees' struggles lately to take a 3-game lead in the American League East. I'm surprised, Adam, that the Yankees, who look pretty solid for the first half of the season, have all of a sudden lost 17 of 23. I know Brian Cashman's gone down to Tampa to see what's kind of going on in person. What have you kind of seen there in following that race? What's gone wrong for the Yankees?
I mean, it's a long season. Judge at the beginning of the season wasn't swinging it well. Then he's the best player in the game. Soto's been maintaining. Gill, the young pitcher, he has his last 4 or 5 starts. He hasn't been how he was the first 12 starts. It's a long, long season, and I just look forward to the Orioles and the Yankees playing real meaningful baseball come September. That's what it's about. Everybody's going to go ups and downs. The Orioles are going to have their slides. They've been able to mitigate a lot of them, but it's just part of the game. And every team faces it.
You're talking about a long season. We were really hesitant at the beginning of the year to talk about, well, it's early. Here in San Diego, I mean, AJ, and you can imagine why after the last few years. And yes, while it is early, this team did not play in the last few years with the sense of urgency that I'll give it to them. They don't do it every night, but they've done it a hell of a lot more this year. It feels than they did last year, which has led to a much more exciting brand of baseball here in San Diego this year.
Oh, the brand of baseball is amazing. And you know what? Obviously, Manny is the guy to me. When he's hot, the ship is running. But right now, to me, the MVP of the team is the rookie, Jackson Merrill. I mean, that's to me. I don't know how you feel about that, but what he's been able to do and accomplish, holding down center field, and it's a big responsibility, and he's been able to man it. And again, 21, who cares about the age? You're going out there and playing. I was fortunate enough to talk to him in Korea, and I said, hey, man, it's the big leagues. The lights is on, and he was ready for it. And he's taken advantage of a great opportunity. He's got great leaders over there also, but he's taken full advantage of center field, and it seems like he is being the leader of the defense out there. And, he's, to me, the MVP of the team right now and is keeping them afloat. But, again, the ship sails when Manny is hot, and he's been swinging the bat really well lately, so you just got to keep him hot.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if I'm going to do co-MVPs, I'm going to give some to Jerks and Profar too, because
I'm with Profar also. Sorry for Profar. Yeah, my guys.
He's
on his list now.
It's
too late.
He's been amazing, and I'll ask you about this. You know Pro a little bit?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I've got to know him over the years, and I'm glad he's going to be his first All-Star in the place that he started his career.
It's the coolest thing, and it's a great story, and we're all super happy about it. But lately, man, now I love this. He is the guy, it seems to me, other teams are like, man, I don't like him. I don't like the cut of his jib. I don't like what he's doing. I love it because it irritates them. Santos got irritated last night because Profar looked at him. Baseball players are sensitive. We know that. Profar has really been, he's been like a little piece of sand, between your toes to a lot of teams this year. It's been fun to be on that side of it, the team that you root for. I bet you hate playing against those guys, though.
I mean, for me, I love it. I mean, you got to understand, he's Dutch, but they play the Latin style of the game,
yes.
Man. They're going to show emotion. I mean, I've seen the Nationals get mad that he hit a walk-off, and, they want to throw behind him. Like, that's, come on. You want to hit him? Like, come on. It's a walk-off. Let the man celebrate. And you can't take the passion away from the Latin players. Yeah. They tried to do it in the WBC. It did not happen. The Latin players got even more hype. So you ain't going to take away the passion from the Latin players. You better join the party or don't give up the hit.
As you mentioned, Jerkson going to his first All-Star game after 11 years in the league. So I was just looking it up. I oftentimes introduce you as five-time All-Star Adam Jones. And you went to the All-Star game for the first time. I think it was your third full season when you were with the Orioles. But then you didn't go again for a few more years, and then you went 4 years in a row. Jackson Merrill's going in his first season here as a rookie. What do you learn? Is there anything that first All-Star game that you're looking for, that you learn, that you keep your head down? Do you take it all in? How does that first All-Star game work, Adam?
Well, my first All-Star game was different. I mean, I had guys who had 10 All-Star games. I had Mariano Rivera. I'm taking ground balls with Derek Jeter. You got A-Rod. You got Poppy. You go back to the 09 team, you had very few guys that were first-time All-Stars. It was myself, Edwin Jackson. I think Granderson maybe was the first or second time. But you had the vets that were still the perennial All-Stars. And it was game, just pure game. You had to be around these guys. You got to ask these guys questions. They've been there, done that. My locker was next to Ichiro. And I'm again, he was my teammate briefly in Seattle. But now, I'm at the All-Star game with him. President Obama came in. You had the dogs sniffing me. I mean, I think it was different. It was more prestigious to me, I think, at that time because you had guys with 10, 11 All-Star games. Legacy guys. I was fortunate enough to be at Mariano's last All-Star game, Jeter's last All-Star game. But now it's a new brand, and, you have a lot of first-time guys, which I think is great. It's showing that the game is expanding. The youth is amazing, and they're deserving. So, I had Craig Kimbrell on my Adam Jones podcast, and I just asked him about it because he's could be a 10-time All-Star, and he's just so grateful for the other guys. Hey, man, these guys earned it. These guys earned it this year. They had a great first half. Let them enjoy that reward. And, I take all 5 that I went to, every single one of them were very special. And, it's the old adage, it never gets old. Things like that never get old. You're the best player at that moment. And, go there and stick out your chest a little bit and have some fun.
Talking to our pal Adam Jones here on Ben and Woods this morning. I can't remember if I've asked you this or not. My memory's not great, but I wanted to talk to you about the Orioles. They remain a really fascinating team. Sucked for many, 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 many years to try to get back to what they have now currently. They have more prospects, really, Adam, than they have positions on the field. And I was watching something recently. And it was MLB Network, and, it's all speculation around trade deadline. And it said, I just don't think they're going to move these guys to get, maybe somebody that'll help. They think they have the guys that they need right now. I can see how it could be positive for the guys on that team already, but I could also see how it would be a negative if the team goes, no, we're good. We got what we need. What's your take on them?
Well, I mean, it's the big thing, and that's for everybody, is always pitching. One problem is for them for next year is they have 3 guys that have had Tommy John already, so they're out for next year. So a big thing for them is getting starting pitching. Obviously, Corbin Burns, who wouldn't want to retain him, but he's going to free agency as he should, and and see the max that he can get. That's what you work for. So the biggest thing is starting pitching, and I think that goes for every team. So I don't necessarily know what moves will be made. I don't work for the Orioles, so I'm just speculating like everybody else. But the problem I think has presented itself where we knew they had a great minor league system, but now guys need to play. You have too many 4A guys now, rather than a guy at least needs at bats like Stowers, Kerstad, Mayo, Norby. These are guys that honestly they need to be in the major league somewhere.
And they're blocked.
With the Orioles, with the Orioles, they just have so much talent right now in the major leagues. They're just blocked. And again, it's a good problem to have, but as guys age and start turning 24 and 25 and 26, value just goes down.
Yeah,
so
makes
again,
sense.
I don't work for them, but I'm speculating like everybody else for everybody else's team. Guys are going to be moved. There's going to be trade deadline moves. There's going to be hopefully some blockbuster moves with some guys. So just know that the Orioles are in a really good situation, and for Elias and company, it's a great problem to have.
Talking to Adam Jones on a Big League Wednesday, and you've talked to us before about how tough it is to adjust to the big leagues, how hard the game is. And I totally believe that, and we still see rookies who struggle, but we're also seeing more rookies who seem to just jump in and are having success right away. You mentioned Jackson Merrill, all-star as a rookie. Paul Skeens on the pitching side. See this Reds prospect who just came up. What's his name? Reese Hines? Just 2 games, 5 extra base hits, 2 home runs. Is there something different nowadays? Are teams better at preparing these rookies for the reality of what they're about to face, or are these just some freaks that are having instant success in Major League Baseball?
It's both. I think with just evolution, we've understood what it takes. I don't say necessarily everything about what it takes, but you can get the routines of major league guys with social media, post their routines and different things with YouTube. There's just so much more information than it was in the 90s. It was just part of the evolution process. And these guys are training for this. You go to these gyms, the drive lines, and these other places in San Diego. They have tons of places also, and major league guys hitting with high school guys, with the 12-year-olds. So these young kids with their parents, they're asking these guys questions. How do I get there? So it's not as unfamiliar to them anymore. So being around a major league guy or a professional athlete is not as unfamiliar like it used to be.
Yeah.
I never met a pro athlete. You had to go to the baseball game, sit outside of a maybe try to get an autograph. But now you just go to Starbucks. People are just with social media just pin people, and it's weird. But it's super weird. But I think I said it before. The athlete is not idolized like they used to. Like I idolized Tony Gwynn. I idolized Ken Cameo. I like guys like Eric Owens, the dirtball like that. You idolize guys like that. Now it's like Soto has a bad week. He sucks. What? That's one of our generational's best players. But I think we don't idolize guys because we have so much access to the guys.
Yeah,
really good points as always, Adam. I can't wait to see you a month from now back in San Diego. It'll be a lot of fun.
Are you coming in? We doing golf? What are we doing?
We'll do something.
What's happening?
We're golfing.
Yep.
All right.
We're golfing. I got my driver fixed. I've been working on a few things. It ain't gonna work, but I've been working.
Text Paulie. We'll get us a nice course and get it all done, and lunch, and have you come in and hang too.
Yes, sir. You know I'll show up.
Yeah, we'll
There he is.
put everybody to work here on Ben and Woods. That's what we do best.
Adam Jones, live from Baltimore, Maryland, where it is hot, hot, hot. We'll talk to him again next Wednesday and get to see him in person next month. I think he makes a really good point. It wasn't that long ago when you came up as a rookie in baseball, whenever. You were pretty much thrown into the deep end with no preparation whatsoever. You couldn't replicate the big league lifestyle in AAA, AA. You just had to do it.
You just had to learn it.
You just had to learn it. But nowadays, teams have become so much better at preparing their guys for the routines, and it's almost they show up and they already kind of know what they're supposed to do. Yeah, you're not facing all-star pitching every day, but you can duplicate it in batting cages now and see more of it, see more velocity, training. And it's not just baseball, by the way. Have you noticed in sports like golf, where guys are coming straight from college And now all of a sudden, like winning on the PGA Tour, it used to be guys would come on the PGA Tour, it'd be 3 or 4 years before he really could compete, win regularly, because you had to learn the grind, you had to learn about it. But athletes are so much better prepared at a younger age now than they ever were because of more information, advanced training techniques, better practice facilities, better technology, and it carries over into all kinds of sports.
Mental training. Mental training, literally. I mean, back then, if you had said in the big league, I bet you a lot of people in the big leagues in 1986 that had some mental issues that they probably needed to work through, and nobody would listen to them. You know what I mean? Nor could they feel that they could tell somebody.
To bring it back to Merrill, like, he's got the right makeup.
Yeah.
He's obviously got the ability and the physical skills. Like, I think we made it a promo a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week. Ben was like, he's perfect. It's like he was created in a lab.
Yeah.
He's exactly what you want.
Yep.
And it's not by accident either. I'm sure some of it is just inherent in terms of like his personality and who he is, but he's been working on this. He's got a goal. He wanted to be a big league player, and he's put the right work into it to be not only physically ready, but also mentally and emotionally ready to be a big leaguer.
I was thinking about it. He looks so comfortable.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a rookie.
Okay.
He looks so comfortable. Do you think that has anything to do with him knowing, he would never admit it publicly, but knowing that, like, he was thrust into that position because we had nobody else. There wasn't any competition really for him in center field. Did that make it easier on him? Did that make it harder on him?
Well, no, because there was at the time, though, when he got thrust into center field.
Zokar or Eggy,
but there were guys behind him, right?
They were talking about trading for Duran and other players.
Yes, it was Duran. It was the kid from Milwaukee. They were Sal Freely. They were going to go out
but
and
in
get
the system,
somebody.
we really didn't have much.
We had Martorella. We had all those guys that they were like.
Marcy was in spring training was being talked about. I mean, there was competition. But look at what, like in soccer yesterday, there was a 16-year-old who scored a goal for Spain.
Saw that.
16. They're just the athletes that are performing at the highest level are getting younger and younger and younger.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Doesn't
Absolutely
matter
crazy.
anymore.
But I like what he said about you're able to see big leaguers' routines, the work that they put in, which I love. I can't get enough of that stuff.
All right, Big League Wednesday continues in our next hour. Bret Boone going to check in at 8:35. Always love our conversations with Booney. Reset everything when we come back. More Padres talk after a third straight loss yesterday. Don't go away. Ben Woods continues on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, halfway home on a Wednesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Thanks for being here. Thanks to Adam Jones. Bret Boone's coming up at 8:35. Talking Padres baseball. All that entails here on the program. Hope you guys are having a good Wednesday. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, joins us as well. I will be heading out to our beloved Petco Park today for a 3:40 start, which I'm into. I'm into the 3:40. The 1:10, by the time I get home, do what I need to do, the game starts at 1:10, and I'm like, I start to get a little snoozy. And with the way the offense is playing, it's almost a guarantee I would fall right asleep. So 3:40 is not 6:40. It's not it's actually perfect for me.
Oh, you're going to hit traffic on both ends.
Yeah, for sure. But
Driving in and going home.
I'm used to that. And I don't know how long we'll stay. We wanted to go watch and support Tim Flannery. Going to be doing the national anthem today. His family's going to be there. So we got good seats. And I'm going to tell, I hope my kids aren't listening. I'm going to tell both of them that Gallagher Square is closed. It's adults only.
Oh,
they're doing
I heard about that.
The adults only party out there in Gallagher Square. Because
shouldn't even go look at it.
No, we don't. We can't have access.
Grown-ups only on the big bat slide.
Yes,
yeah.
It's a special ticket that you need to get in Gallagher today. Bo's good. Bo will sit and watch the game. Now Taylor will not. Taylor, all he wants to do is go play, and I'll give it 4 pitches in the first before he goes, Dad, can we go? Can we go? I want this. I want that. It's excruciating. It's excruciating. So I'm going to be there. Look, if you see me and my family leaving early, it's not me today. Today I want to go and stay because we got really good seats. I want to watch the game, and I'm excited. But
I think my favorite is the 5:40 Saturday starts.
It's pretty elite.
I agree, Paulie. 5:40 is
perfect.
Really
Sun's
good.
Still out for most of the game,
really
but
nice.
It's cooling off a little bit, or it's moving behind the building.
The problem with 3:40 is you're going to get a lot of those shadows crossing over, and it's already hard enough to hit.
Well,
in
I
Major
don't
League
have
Baseball.
to hit.
You
I'm
don't,
not
but
hitting
you're
today.
probably-
I don't know if you know this.
Probably going to get an under on, Michael King. He's tough to hit already. Bryce Miller, tough to hit. Offense could be difficult in the shadows of 3:40.
The offense is difficult anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't have to hit today. So I don't
5:40
care.
is great though, Paulie, because it gives you so many options. If you're more of an early person, you can go downtown early, do like happy hour. You then go to the game and then just go right home afterwards. Or if you're more of a night owl, go to the game. You could still go to dinner after the game.
You're done by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, you go to dinner. You can go out drinking, whatever you want to do afterwards. You have so many options with 5:40 that
You see the sunset still. Like, you got all of that.
yeah.
I
think
big
we can
fan.
all agree that the change from 7:10.
Oh, it's been a
Oh
godsend.
my goodness
can't
gracious!
believe
Can
we
you
ever
imagine
had
if they ever
games.
went back to 7:10? I just can't. I can't even picture it.
We riot.
I mean, it felt like we were up watching games at like 11.
Yeah.
And the new rules.
before
the
the new rules, and games that started at 7:10 that ended at 10:25 to 10:40 every single night. Just not doable.
It's not. It's absolutely not doable. So I'm excited about that. I want to go out and see the boys today. Hopefully they can get a win. Just watching the love that is growing in my 6-year-old for the game and the team. Got to meet Higgy yesterday, and he talked about it all day. Man, he was just so enamored with him, and it's just fun. And Kyle Higashioka, again, thanks to him for coming in yesterday. If you missed that interview, it was awesome. It was awesome. He's a great, great dude. Guy that you root for. Obviously, he went yard last night, which again gave me a dumb sigh of relief because he was in on the show, and you broke Kyle Higashioka, and so I was really happy to see him go tank.
Well, we did cause him to strike out in his first at bat on
did.
a weak kind of sword swing. Yeah. But after that, we helped him hit a home run.
Yeah, we did. So no, it was great, man. It's been a fun week so far. Like to get a win. It will be my last chance to talk about a win this week, Ben.
That's right.
I haven't gotten
actually, it's
home.
mine as well because there's no game
ours.
tomorrow. So
right.
either way, on Friday we won't be talking about a win or a loss, and you won't be here at all.
I will not be here Friday.
You're going where? You're going up to a concert?
Yeah, I'll be in LA.
Multiple concerts.
Yeah, I'm doing the. I've never, I have a
Sounds
lot
like
of.
Dodger 11 if I've ever heard.
Well, listen, I'm not going to see the Dodgers. I'm going to go see a band that I love, And I've never done 3 shows in 3 nights. What is the over-under that I actually make it to all
So
3?
wait, so you're going, I thought you were going, so you're going Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Friday night.
Thursday night's in San Diego, though.
Ah, I see.
But I'm...
So the same band, 3 different venues or 2 different venues?
3 different venues.
Okay, so 2 different Los Angeles venues on
San Diego, Anaheim,
Orange County.
And then L.A.
You'll just be trekking your way up.
Going up Friday to L.A. and then trekking back for the show and then back to Hollywood.
Wait, you're driving up to L.A. just so you can drive back down to Anaheim for the show.
Correct, because I didn't want to get a place in Anaheim because I'm almost 50. What am I going to do in Anaheim? I'd rather be out in L.A. than Anaheim.
Anaheim's a major tourist mecca due to a certain theme park.
Yeah,
in the
but
area.
my buddy's coming in. What am I going to take him to Bubba Gump Shrimp? Like, let's go rage tonight over at Bubba Gump's? Forget it. We're going to be out in Hollywood having a good time.
But then you have to drive all the way down to Anaheim.
Well, yeah, I'm not driving anything. My buddy's driving. He doesn't drink,
all right.
so he's driving us, and we're going to go to the show. The beauty is the band that I want to see is the opener. They come on at like 8, and they're done at 9:15, 9:30.
But
the whole night ahead of me.
The way these things work is they will play probably the exact same songs all 3 nights, right?
Yeah.
In the same order.
Yeah, there may be one. I looked at their set list, and I'm begging them to like change it up. And it's the last 3 nights of the tour. I'm like, please, I don't know that I can go see. I'm going to have to. I bought tickets. I don't know if I want to see the same set list 3 straight.
That's on you.
No, I know. It's not on me. I'm not the band.
Have you ever seen the same band twice in one tour?
Yes.
Let alone 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Just the 3 consecutive
nights.
dates on a tour.
I feel like a deadhead. This is what they do, but they do it for like 4 months at a time.
What did Bill Walton go to like 8,000
Yes,
shows?
yes. But they're like, they
or
go
something?
all summer and go every night.
I mean, I saw Blink-182 last June, and they just played again like last week.
Yes.
So it was about a year apart. And I looked at, I was like, it's pretty much the same set list that I saw a year ago. Because all my friends were like, oh, you going to Blink? I'm like, I just saw them.
Saw
like,
the
By
same-
day 3, are you
year
kind of
ago.
hoping they mess up or something just to make it like different?
Well, that will be the last night of the tour, so I'm hoping they blow it out. But again, they're the opener, so they only have an hour and 15. You can't go.
So who's opening and who's headlining?
The Afghan Wigs are the band that I want to see the most, and they're the opener, and then the Church is the headliner. And I bet you I don't see one note from any of the 3 churches.
So you're only going for the open.
I am.
Even though probably the major cost of the tickets is for the headline.
Correct. And I like the Church enough, but not enough to not leave at 9:15 and get to go out.
Should you be able to buy a ticket just for the opening act? If you like only wanted to see the opening, just get a discounted ticket. Like, I'm only staying for the opener.
No.
That would never be enforced.
It would never be enforced, and
But you have to
way,
leave,
There's
then.
no way to do it. Special wristbands, they drag you out.
They start shocking you. It's like a bracelet.
It would be
You're
a
done.
nightmare. But no, I'm really the most.
It's like a doubleheader, like day night. You clear out,
clear
and then
out.
you get everyone back in for the next game.
The most important thing is that I get to hang with a dude that I've been friends with since I was 10, and I don't get to see him.
But you could have
very
done
much.
something else, like the second night, or done.
Yeah, but
like,
we both love this band.
Right.
This is like our thing.
And I think going twice would have been enough, and then plan something else the other night.
Look, there's a
go Thursday, Saturday to the band, and then Friday skip Anaheim, just stay in Hollywood and blow.
I mean, who are you talking to? You know that's a possibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that I go Thursday and never see them again. You know that that's a possibility. I go so hard on Thursday night, I never see the band again. You know that. So it's all up in the air.
Did you ever go see a movie 3 nights in a row at the theater? Like, that's the same thing.
Basically the same thing, dude.
Like, I'm not criticizing you. I'm honestly,
good. Oppenheimer.
I'm trying to learn because that's a lot.
I love them. They're getting up there, and I just want to get as much as I can. Does that make sense? And they do. He'll mix up like a little medley, and I don't know. Is it worth it? Yeah, for me it is because I love them so much. And their guitar player is a good friend of mine, so I get to see him. I might have some like cool access and stuff.
So where are you staying? Chateau Marmont?
No,
What are you
we got an
doing?
Airbnb.
Oh, okay. In Hollywood.
Yeah, in Hollywood. It's awesome. It's awesome. So my buddy's turning 50 in August. This is kind of for him, and my birthday's next week. So it's just time.
Do you have
out
any
perfectly.
like favorite like clubs or anything you like to go to when you're up there?
You know, it's funny. There's a bar in Hollywood I like to go. It's called Woods. The Woods, yeah.
The Woods.
It's amazing. It's some of the strongest drinks you'll ever have in your life. It's incredible. So I like that place. And there's the singer of the band.
Or you can go to the Ben and just have the non-alcoholic
That's
drink.
right. The singer of the band owns a couple of bars, too, that we're probably going to check out. So, yeah, man, it's going to be great. I can't wait.
Nothing touristy like the Walk of Fame or see the handprints in front of the Chinese theater.
No,
nothing.
Nothing
touristy.
like. No, we're going to sit by the pool on our asses all day Saturday and then go to the show. And then my wife has already said I need to be home early on Sunday because, well, why wouldn't she? That's what she does.
Yeah, we have a Tier 1 baseball game.
I will not make the game, Sunday. You have
But you just said you're coming home early.
She's going to make me. Got to watch the kids.
You can bring the kids to the game.
No, you can't.
You can't?
No. I'm probably going to be a little worse for wear if I had to guess.
I think Bo could coach third.
I was thinking about this week having like a drink a night just to prime. I don't drink much anymore. Just to like prime the pump. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't.
Kind of like stretching
Yeah,
before
like
you
stretching
exercise.
before a game. Like, all right, I'm going to have one bourbon tonight. All right, now I'm going to have 2 bourbons. How do I feel? Because you know how I go. I go.
Because if you just jump right in without stretching, you're going to pull something.
There's a decent chance I pull something real hard tomorrow night. Decent chance. Very, very decent chance.
Dominic asks in the chat, what band would Ben ever see 3 nights in a row? I don't think there's
not one.
No chance. Wouldn't do anything 3 nights in a row.
No.
I don't think I'd go to the same restaurant 3 nights in a row.
I don't think I would either. But I'm doing this 3 nights in a row. It's just I'm such an everything has to be overkill with me. It's so stupid.
I would play the
You're
same
right.
golf. I'd play the same golf course.
Yeah,
3 days
yeah,
in a
you
row.
would do that.
I would do that.
That's true. If you belong to a country
Even
club,
then, day 3, I'm like, can we switch it up? Go somewhere else.
yeah, you would do it. But if you
would.
belong to a country club, you're like, this place again,
right?
Wouldn't some of that creep in where you're like,
think it
I
has
got to
to.
do this again?
Yeah, you want to keep it fresh. But I always feel like, hey, if you're a PGA Tour player, you play the same course at least 4 days in a row,
right,
for the tournament. So like you get better, you get to know the course each day, ins and outs. But I don't know if it's a movie, if it's a concert, it just feels like you're just on repeat.
Remember this? Andros says, get real. Ben didn't even listen to one song more than 2 times in a
According
calendar.
to my Spotify recap.
What song was it?
Oh, God.
It might have been Sultans of Swing twice.
Yeah,
what did
I think
get?
Is that
was.
what it
I
is?
think that's what it was.
Andros, I had totally forgotten about that. Spotify recap, Wrapped.
Oh,
you know what my number 1 song is? Sultans of Swing. You know how many times I listened to it? Twice. In a whole year.
I don't want to just repeat everything all year long.
Oh, you're incredible. You are incredible. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll miss the roundtable tomorrow, too. Sorry about that.
You will.
Yeah.
But you're here for the show.
I'm here for the show.
You can't stay 1 more hour for the roundtable.
My son is participating in Manny Machado's baseball camp tomorrow.
Okay.
So I want to go watch him for an hour and then go to the airport.
And I
to
hear
pick him
we'll
up.
have a very special guest in on the roundtable tomorrow.
Who is it?
Tony Gwynn Jr.
Very special guest indeed. Love it.
I went and found, this was from, last November.
Ben and Woods on the Fan.
I did not know that Spotify Wrapped was going to be sent out today.
My top song, it said, which is actually one of my favorites, Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. You know how many times I played it? 2.
I just had a short in my head.
365 days. 365 days. My favorite song I played twice. You don't want to overdo these things, so then it always feels fresh and new to you.
It's so electric, dude.
You're a gem.
It's so electric. Oh, Adam rolled his eyes at me in the chat for missing the round table. But sorry, I want to see my kid play ball, man. I just want to see Manny and my son and, learning how to field grounders and all that.
All right, we got Bret Boone coming up at the bottom of the hour on a Big League Wednesday. Injury update for your San Diego Padres. There was a certain player back on the field yesterday and had some comments, so we'll get you updated on that when we come back as well. Check traffic with Kelly. More Ben and Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
We are the literal birthday shout-out show now. Happy birthday, Umberto from Escondido.
Anybody else got birthdays?
Any other
Just let us know.
birthdays you want us to do? It's a good time for it. It's kind of slow right now.
Well, I mean, when you think about it mathematically, 1 out of every 365 listeners should be celebrating a birthday today. So, hopefully you've got several thousand listeners out there, which means on any given day should be at least a handful of birthdays in the Tier 1 audience.
Happy birthday to all of you. Can we just do one big blanket happy birthday
2024
to all the
birthday
Tier 1s?
shout-outs
Yes,
to
to all of
everyone.
you. Just every one of you guys. Happy birthday. Well, no matter when it is. Today, tomorrow, it's already passed. We love you guys. Happy birthday to all of you.
We got an update yesterday on Xander Bogaerts, who was in attendance at Petco Park, took batting practice on the field, took some infield practice as well, and then spoke to the media. Basically said he feels good, healthy. The shoulder is healed, getting his timing back, and feels like just needs a couple of more games in the minor leagues and should be ready to go at that point. Now, Padres will make the final decision, but sounds like there was no game yesterday in the minor leagues. Teams are off on Mondays generally. So he was at Petco Park. The expectation would be that he'll go to maybe Lake Elsinore today and tomorrow, and then could be back as soon as Friday to join the Padres on the big league level.
Okay, Friday,
maybe Saturday, if there's no setbacks or anything.
Just right into another long vacation.
He was asked about that. It's like, is it going to be weird? Is it going to be weird to come back and then have 4 days off? And he goes, no, not really.
It's going to be awesome.
I mean, yeah, he was didn't have a lot of words in terms of his descriptions of everything. Just
I saw the audio was posted. Do we have the audio of Schilt talking about where he's going to play when he comes back? Is that something?
Yeah,
that we saw?
It wasn't definitive. He said, expect him to go back to second base.
He was taking grounders at second.
Expect Jake Cronenworth to go back to first base, but also expect we're going to rotate around some DHs and give guys days off. So none of that's going to necessarily be a daily thing where it's simply Manny, Ha-Seong Kim, Xander Bogaerts,
Right.
and Jake Cronenworth every single day. Luis Arraez will play the field at times. Donovan Solano will be in the lineup at times. It's just going to be a matter of, the situation, the starting pitching matchup, the health of everybody who needs a day off, and, just have more depth with which to choose from once Xander Bogaerts returns to the lineup.
Somebody asked me yesterday in a DM, Woodsy, why wouldn't they consider putting Luis Arraez in the outfield? When he came up with the Twins in 19, he did play some outfield. He played, I want to say a handful, 60, 70 games potentially. And then for whatever reason, they moved him into the infield. And, he's not a plus defender by any stretch of the imagination. He's been fine, I guess, at first. Had a couple of missteps, but everybody does. Is that an option, Ben, and putting him back out there?
I've not heard any talk of Luis Arraez. I think, so he was a left fielder, I believe, when he played. Probably because he doesn't have a strong arm for right field. So if you're going to put him in left field, that means now you're moving your all-star left fielder to right field. Jurickson probably could do that.
Probably.
But should he have to? With, having the career season, all of a sudden have to move positions in the middle of the year when you're comfortable out in left field. That's not necessarily a smart strategy or the best thing for Jurickson. So I think for that reason, they're not really considering Luis Arraez in the outfield because there's no place to put him because he really doesn't have the skills or the arm to be a right fielder.
Got a Schilt here if you want to hear talking about Xander.
We have a lot of infielders when Xander's back. A lot of guys who are playing really well too. I know it's the proverbial good problem to have, but how do you kind of sort out the playing time in the at-bats when Xander's back?
Yeah, I mean, it's we need another position. Maybe a 5-man infield. We messed around with that with Toddy being on the field. But we got 3 outfielders that are making all-star teams, so we're not going to go that route, obviously. No, we just need to be smart about and communicative with the players and matchups. And, if there's going to be a real productive player that's not going to be in the lineup to start the game, and then figure out the best spot for them to be used when the situations arise.
48 games is the number Brandon saw. He looked on his MLB page. I thought the same thing. 48 games in left field. Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot of games at all. Jackson Merrill played 0 games out there, but bit younger.
Eggy Rosario's now played 2 or 3 in the
right
minor
field.
leagues, and he could be back and playing there. He has the arm for it, though.
Yeah.
And he'd also be the option against left-handed pitchers because he's right-handed.
Yeah, I don't want to get into a platoon situation with Luis Ariz, though. He needs to be in the lineup every single day, somehow, some way.
How is he going to be in the lineup?
I don't know how, unless he DHs, which he has said repeatedly he does not want to do. He's not a DH. He wants to play the field. I mean, listen, there's a lot of things I want I don't get either.
He's not going to be in the field every day.
He's not going to.
He may be in the lineup most days, but to do that, he's going to have to DH at least half the time.
Yes.
And then maybe as other guys need a DH day, he can move back to first base.
Yeah, and honestly, as banged up as Luis has been, it may be the best thing for him to play, to DH.
Yeah, he's definitely not quite looked the same since he injured his hand
shoulder,
or whatever it was.
A couple different things.
But then I looked at it, and he had 3 straight 2-hit games last week.
Yep.
The last couple of games he's taken some offers, but he still can produce even when he's not obviously 100%. He's got those skills. So I don't think they're really considering an injured list stint for Luis Ariz. Hopefully the All-Star break will get him some time and get back to healthy because they need to get him back on a run like he went on when he first joined the Padres. He was really kind of carrying the team for a while there. Now he's not bad, but he's certainly not nearly as hot as he was before.
Yeah, no doubt.
A few more weak grounders, getting under some balls, and hitting some pop flies that were line drives earlier in the season.
They had like a weird back-to-back strikeout game over the weekend, which is like jarring to see from him when he strikes out twice in a row. You're like, oh my God, is everything okay? But no, it's going to be interesting to see where they piece everybody, where they put everybody. Look, baseball always has a way of working itself out. Always. I mean, it's just when we start to worry, do we have too many arms right now in the Dodgers this year? We have so many arms. We have like 17 starting pitchers. Now they can't find one, and so baseball works itself out. Whenever you think you've got a problem solved or a hole plugged, the next one pops open. So it's got to be ready for it.
So there's your injury update for the San Diego Padres. When we come back, we'll continue with our Big League Wednesday, get some stories and more from Bret Boone, our Odyssey insider.
Got to ask him about his brother right now in the absolute chamber in New York. I'm
sure he's trying to stay out of it as much as he can.
Yeah.
But he'll have some thoughts for sure.
He will.
Bret Boone joins us when we come back with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Baseball coverage on 97.3 The Fan is presented by T-Mobile. Switch to T-Mobile. You can get tons of benefits. Still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Use their savings calculator to find out how at T-Mobile.com/switch. Why don't we just get right to it? Joining us right now is Odyssey MLB insider Bret Boone. Insider calls are presented by Grainger. With supplies and solutions for every industry, Grainger has the right product for you. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Bret, also the host of the Bret Boone podcast, featuring the most notable names in MLB and around sports every week. Booney, good morning.
Good morning, guys. What's happening?
Just chilling, man. Watching, talking baseball like we do and talking about the All-Stars. I know you were a 3-time All-Star, and Adam Jones we had on earlier. He said it never gets old, and it's always awesome, and each one was very special. And I know there's probably a couple of All-Stars going. I don't know who, but they're like, man, I could really use the break, but I'll go and do this right now.
I never understood that.
Yeah.
I never understood it. And now the farther I get away from being a player, something I did for a long time, and you never think it's going to end. And I had the attitude then, I'd see guys get picked for the game, and, they had a little soreness. Oh, I'm going to sit this one out, because maybe they've been to 5 or 6. And I always thought, are you crazy? You take every award, you take every opportunity, you're invited to something, go. You only go around one time, and it's even more glaring to me the farther I get away from it. Like, just enjoy everything you have. These guys that I got to go to 2 home run derbies. One of them I stunk, but I got to do them. I got to do them. I got invited. That wasn't my genre. It wasn't my forte. But I'll be damned if I get invited to be in a home run derby. How many people get invited? So I took every opportunity, even though I knew it wasn't my strong point, sitting there without a cage, hitting homers as an exhibition. But I thought, I want to take advantage of this. The guys that took the All-Star, it's like you go to the All-Star game. How many times are you going to be an All-Star?
It's incredible.
So I never understood that mindset. I'm not I don't want to get personal with anybody in their decisions, but my brain doesn't calculate it. You do everything you can. You accept every award you can. You get every experience you can. So to me, All-Star, it's not like it was in 1970 and the Pete Roses, we're going to win this game because, this is the pride's on the line. I get that, and I think that's cool.
I hate to ask.
Today's game is an exhibition. And the main thing is don't get hurt. And as a player, you think, don't get hurt and don't embarrass yourself. Because the most important part is getting back to your team and being a viable asset down the stretch. But, man, really embrace this All-Star. And I don't know. I did. All right. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I hate to ask, but when you say you stunk in the home run derby, what's the total?
You got Paulie on the back channels. Why did
I remember, Booney, we've told you this. You were my favorite player as a Seattle Mariner. I was like 11 years old.
This
it was
not
the All-Star game
format.
in Seattle.
This wasn't the time format, right? You got 10 outs when you get it?
This was a different format. I actually think the current format is better. It's more entertaining. It's more entertaining for the fans, I think. Ours was different. It was outs, and there was much lower total, how many homers you hit. I went to Seattle. It was my first one. I got invited. And I did okay. I held serve. I didn't embarrass myself. I didn't hit 20 homers.
Yeah.
But I did good. I tied Sammy Sosa, who I was pitted against.
Fine.
Well, back in the day when you tie, they didn't have a tiebreaker. Their tiebreaker was you go to the stats and who has the most home runs at the break. I think I had 22 or 24, and Sammy had like 28. So he went on, and I remember the crowd just booed because we tied and he was going on. But I was okay because I just said, hit a few homers, don't embarrass yourself. Got in, got out. The one that was rough was in Chicago a couple of years later. I got invited to it, and I blame it on the guy throwing BP, but I had a rough out. I had a rough outing, and I heard every venue I went to the second half, that's all I heard about. Nice home run derby. Nice home run derby.
I feel like that happens all the time, though, because that first All-Star game, you were a Mariner. It was in Seattle. Oh. Will Myers struggled as the local
I blame his brother.
Participant.
His brother throwing BP was terrible.
It wasn't your dad or someone who was throwing you BP, was it?
It was not my guy. Okay. So my guy was John McLaren. He was my bench coach. I mean, he just had a way of hitting the barrel of my bat. So it's a late call, and I think about it. I don't have Johnny with me. So I give him a call about a week before. I said, Johnny, I need you to fly to Chicago, throw BP. Booney, I'm going on a trip to Haiti with my, wherever he was going with my wife. Well, I had the option right there. I'm going to refund his trip. I'm going to give him a better trip. Or I'll let him go enjoy his all-star breaks. I said, it's no big deal. Anybody can throw BP. Well, fast forward. I get there. Dave Valley, who I love Dave. I was a teammate my rookie year with Dave, and he was around the Seattle Mariners doing the commentary for a lot of years. I said, Dave, all right, you got to throw BP to me today. We go out for the warm-up BP, and I just know. Some guys you don't click with, I'm like, this ain't going to work. He's throwing me right-handed cutters. We're buddies. He's out there sweating. He wants me to do well. And I'm like, Val, you're horrible. I had heard from the lefties. They love him. Jason Giambi was wearing him out, hitting him in the upper deck. But it's just cutting away from me, and I'm hitting doubles down the left field line, which don't pay very good in the home run derby. And I remember just a terrible showing, 0 homers. I never felt like I wanted to just crawl in a hole anymore. And I saw Troy Gloss in 2001 get skunked, and he was really taking it hard. And I was laughing, like, who cares? You're at the All-Star game, you got 22 homers at the break. This doesn't matter. Now, fast forward, I went through a really bad home run derby. And now I know the feeling. Like you have to do that interview afterwards with the Gatorade, and you're looking for words, and that you got that uncomfortable laugh, and it's really not funny, but you don't know what else to do. Anyway, I go home, and all my teammates are wearing me out. Bodie, nice home run derby. You know what the answer to them is? Try getting invited. Try qualifying for one before you have an opinion. And that's what I went with the second half of the season.
Yeah, and try having Dave Valley throw to you. Yeah, Dave Valley throwing you cutters on your hands. It was. I was there for the Will Myers one. I had really good seats, and I was watching, and you could see the frustration. And I think it was his brother. Wasn't his brother?
Yeah,
his dad was his
it was his brother.
And obviously, he's panicked. I mean, he's just throwing BP would be harder than hitting it. It would be so terrifying.
I agree with
that.
I agree with
God, man. And you just see the frustration building. He just can't get one over. It's gnarly. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. Talking to Bret Boone here on Ben and Woods this morning. I want to ask you about your brother and what's going on in New York right now. I mean, it's New York, so he's having
a good time.
He's having a real good time right now.
You know what I think of managing and how important managers are. And it was great because the first half of the season, I'd do a show and people would ask me, "Hey, Aaron's doing a great job." I said, "Yeah, well, of course. He learned how to manage over the off season. It's all about managing.
Smart
right?
ass.
It's all about. And they love him, and he's the greatest manager of all time. A year ago, they wanted his head. They wanted him killed in New York. I said, it's unbelievable how over the winter, just with a couple tips here and there, he became an unbelievable manager. It has nothing to do with the players being healthy,
pitching.
And now all of a sudden, they're going through a 3-week real skid. I look at it, and it's still their top. They got one of the top records in all of baseball.
Yep.
But nevertheless, it's been a rough 3 weeks. And all of a sudden, they want his head again. And all of a sudden, Aaron Boone doesn't know how to manage anymore.
It's wild.
And
isn't
it's amazing how you learn, you forget. There should be a course how to do it, because I think these managers would really, they'd all win World Series because it's not the players and the health. It's all about managing. All right. That's now let's be serious with that. Talk to him. He's fine, but he's going through, what you're going through. You've got a great team. You've got huge expectations. For me, that team needs help in the bullpen. And I think everybody knows that. They've got it. They've always had that power bullpen. They're missing some key guys. They got to get them back, Birdie being one of them. But I think they need real help out in that bullpen. I think Giancarlo Stanton is not talked about. We're talking about Aaron Judge and Juan Soto, who are MVP candidates this year. Aaron Judge stays healthy. I think he walks away with the MVP. That being said, I think Giancarlo Stanton is the most important person in that lineup. I know what Judge is going to do. I know what Soto's going to do. Verdugo's going to go in and out. DJ's getting a little bit older, tough. But the presence of Giancarlo Stanton, and a productive one, which he was before he went on the IL, he just has that presence in the middle of the lineup, whereas an opposing hitter, as an opposing pitcher, you can't just say, I avoid Soto, I avoid Judge, and I can cruise through this lineup. With Giancarlo sitting there, You can't do that. And with him being out of the lineup, I think it's a glaring hole. Got to get him back as soon as you can. I think that's going to be okay and fix that lineup. But I think you really have to address that bullpen. Cole's back. He's had 3 starts. 2 have been not really Cole-like. 1 was. But you got to realize this is his spring training right now. Garrett Cole in the long run is going to be fine. I look at the rest of that rotation. Rodon's been really shaky. He's been up and down. He got off to he's got off to a really good start, but he's been faltering. Stroman's had a couple bumps in the road. Nestor's been kind of a constant. He's been pretty darn good for him. Clark Schmidt, the young starter who's having a great year, he's missed a ton of time. He's not going to be back till late in the season. So you're looking at all these, adding them together, and it's like the young kid Heel, who was a shoe-in rookie of the year, he fell on some tough times. He's righted the ship, so he's better. I think that starting rotation is going to be okay. Really got to address that bullpen as we go down the line. But as I'm finding in 2024, it's not about that marathon anymore. I think we covered this last week. It's not about winning 100 games. It's about being healthy, being in the right place from a health standpoint, per this roster, having a seat at the table in the postseason and going into the postseason hot. That's what win World Series in 2024, not winning 102 games and having an unbelievable season. It's about being healthy at the right time.
Talking to Bret Boone, Insider Calls brought to you by Grainger. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. And we've seen a couple of small moves, but no real trade deadline action yet, Bret. And it just feels like there's not enough players to go around. There's so many teams with needs, pitching needs especially. Obviously, the Padres in need of starting pitching pretty badly right now, but so are so many other teams. A couple of teams are going to be left without anything at the end of this month, and their GMs are going to get raked over the coals, but there's just not enough to go around, it feels like right now.
You're right, and I think if you look at the numbers, American League, National League, there's probably 6 teams that you can probably say, you know what, you're not going to the postseason this year. But because of the new format, because of the trade deadline being at the 2-month mark versus the 1-month mark, there's a lot more people with 2 months left in the season with this current format where it's ultra competitive and there's a lot more races that go down to the wire. Guys have to make decisions, and it's like that 2-month mark. I love it because I think there's more strategy to it. The 1-month mark with the old system, less seats at the table for the postseason, it was kind of an easy move. You're either a buyer or a seller.
Yep.
Now you're kind of in between, like, what do I do? You know, I got these guys. If they get hot, we could be a postseason team. Do we buy? Do we sell? Do we stand pat? So I think it's cool from a strategic standpoint, the system, the way it's set up. That, to your point, not being enough players, without a doubt. There's not enough players because there's a lot more teams that are in the hunt, and everybody needs the same thing, and there's only so many. The teams I look to early, and I think it's really too early to look, but a Texas Rangers comes to mind. They've got a lot of starting pitching. Lorenzen comes to mind, a Gray. I don't know if they part with an Eovaldi. Scherzer, I don't know if people would be willing to pay the ticket price for a Scherzer at this stage of his career. Does DeGrom come back in the second half and that's always a 50-50 at best. I look to the Toronto Blue Jays. They've got a Gossman, a Berrios, a Kikuchi, a Bassett in that starting rotation. Things haven't gone good for the Toronto Blue Jays the way they drew it up 3-4 years ago with this youth movement. I think they could be sellers. And then you look at the Cubs. You know, is there a Bellinger available? Do they want to pay that ticket? A Horner-type player. They've got some starting pitching. Iwanaga, Steele. Are they willing to part with those guys? I'm not sure. So to me, in the short term, I look at a Texas or a Toronto for pitching that somebody's going to go after. And as the hitters go, hitters are usually more available than pitchers. The premium top shelf starting pitchers always at a premium. We'll see. You're looking at your Padres teams. You're in desperate need of some pitching. You got to go out and address that at some point. Because I think the offense is going to be fine. Yeah, Tatis being out longer than we thought, that might be tough for the Padres, but it'll be interesting. You know, that's just my short term right now. I'm starting to look towards that trade deadline. Who's going to be sellers? Who's going to be buyers? That's what I've come up to this point. Going to be an interesting month to see how everybody jockeys and who's buying, who's selling, and who's standing pat.
You know, the most interesting thing for me, Booney, is those teams that, like, think about the Pittsburgh Pirates. You know, if they could find a way in, If they could find a way in,
Right, they're only three games out of the wild card. Right?
Yeah, but you have their owner who's like, oh, like I don't. He
You
doesn't
want
want
me to spend money?
You want
on
me to spend
something?
money
I can't do
and
that.
you know,
He's used to the stand pat sell button.
100%. He's looking to unload salary. I mean, it's just those are the teams where you look at it and you go, all right, this is going to be really, really interesting. It always is, Booney. But we appreciate you jumping on with us, man. Crushed it. Thanks so much for your great home run derby story. Nice derby, by the way.
3-time All-Star, 1-time goose egg in the home run
That's
derby.
right.
Yeah.
Better than any of us could ever speak on. You're the best, dude. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
That was Odyssey MLB insider Bret Boone. Insider Calls presented by Grainger with supplies or solutions for every industry. Grainger has the right product for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Quick check of traffic. Come back, wrap up the hour here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Robert Half. A lot of activity on our roads this morning, guys. Southbound side 5 coastline at Cannon got a collision that's been pushed over the right shoulder. Also an accident on eastbound 78 just before Los Posas. A car and motorcycle involved in this one appears to be blocking the 2 right lanes. Also going to find on the southbound 163 some debris in middle lanes past Genesee. Bigger problems up ahead just before the 8 box truck on its side. That's got middle lanes blocked. Also westbound 8 near Mission Gorge. There's a collision over the right shoulder. Up ahead, another crash at Mission Center Road. It's hit and run over to the right shoulder. Westbound King Freeway, Cordell and Cordell traffic cam shows a collision just before Euclid. That is in the center divide. Accident clearing on northbound 805 near 43rd. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
By the way, what Bret Boone was referring to in the new trade deadline rules, because the trade deadline's always been at the end of July, but before the last couple of years when they changed it, there was the non-waiver trade deadline where you could still make trades in August.
Yep.
Players just have to pass through waivers, and a lot of players will because, you know, guys who wouldn't get claimed could then be traded. So guys with bigger salaries and stuff, you could still make those trades in August. You can't anymore. Your roster is pretty much set after July 30th or whatever it is this year. And so you have to make decisions earlier, and that is putting teams in a tougher spot, especially with so many on the fringes of contention right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of teams that probably should buy that maybe won't, Ben. Maybe won't. Notoriously cheap
And there'll be teams
ownership.
that want to buy that can't. Because there aren't any players available that they need.
Yep.
Good morning, guys.
No, hey.
He's going to buy. I have almost no doubt about that.
100%.
He's the one who always buys. All right, we got 1 hour to go. Paulie's got some headlines in the Reindl Report coming up next. Ben & Woods continuing here on 97.3 The Fan. Thanks again to the great Bret Boone joining us. Most Wednesdays, we get to chat with Bret Boone, and he always gives us some great stories, today included his 2 home run derby experiences.
Out here. What's going on?
I don't know. Can people hear that or not on the background? I have no idea. You had the door open, so that's kind of that's on you.
The loudest
they have
guy,
doors.
It's 100 degrees.
They have
in
soundproof doors, but they only work if you keep them closed.
It's 100 degrees in here.
So, you know me.
Look at me. Always that guy. Jesus Christ.
I'm not.
I know who.
Yeah, you know it is.
I'm not conspiracy theory guy, but I was listening to Matt Scraby and Chris Ello yesterday.
Okay.
And I had to finally, Scraby is Mr. Conspiracy Theory. I had to finally nod an agreement in one. He said he called the Dodgers placing of Tyler Glasnow on the injured list Fugazi.
I don't know that that's a conspiracy. That's just absolute fact.
I said I think he
IL.
might be right about this one.
100%.
He's already approaching career high in innings. They need him for the playoffs. They need him to take a little break here. Right around the All-Star break is a good time to do it. And the reasoning that they gave, playing a little catch, felt some back tightness, is as unconfirmable as any injury you can have in Major League Baseball.
Hurts so
Now,
bad.
remember, they've punished GMs for fake injury list trips, so you have to be careful. You have to pick something that really is hard to dispute. It's not going to show up on an X-ray or an MRI or anything. It's just a little, some back tightness that can last 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, however long you need it to last, it can last.
Just discomfort. It's just I got a little discomfort back
and I had to go, yeah, you're probably right.
No, there's no
And
question.
it's probably the smart thing for the Dodgers to do. Is it technically against Major League Baseball's rules? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The Dodgers are likely cheating the system at the moment.
I'm shocked.
Would A.J. Preller be totally opposed to doing that if it worked in his team's favor? No, I don't think he would be.
It's called circumventing.
Yeah.
Gaining the edge, the inch, and that's what they did. And it's smart. It's absolutely smart.
Sounds a little fake.
Yeah.
So I finally agreed with one of his conspiracy theories.
Yeah, it's absolutely it's
now
a smart thing to do.
do have pitching issues.
They do.
Bobby Miller got lit up yesterday by it's the Phillies, but Dodgers, they have not been the team that they expected to be. Glasnow has been pretty good.
He's been really good.
A little inconsistent lately, but they want to save him for the end of the year.
Yeah, they want to save him. They want to limit those innings. I mean, again, that's when you need Tyler Glasnow. If they can find a way to keep him sharp and have him ready for October, yeah, man, they're a whole different team. With Yamamoto coming back and Kershaw, I guess I'll believe when I see it. All that Walker Buehler seems to me that he's got some work ahead. Dustin May's still coming back for them. I mean, they have some reinforcements, but
Yeah, but Walker Buehler may not be Walker Buehler for
that's
until
what I
next
said.
year.
He's not great at all. Like he's not good in the slightest.
One other pitching note yesterday: Blake Snell was back and actually looked kind of like Blake Snell. Yeah. 5 innings, 1 hit, walked 3, struck out 3.
It's perfect.
Got a no decision. Giants came back to win over the Blue Jays on a walk-off with 2 in the 9th. Yusei Kikuchi struck out 13. Now, he's a guy that is going to be of interest to a lot of teams here at the trade deadline.
No question.
And seems to be in good form right now as well. He's not a Hall of Famer, but for teams that are desperate for pitching, he is looking very attractive at the moment. Don't know if the Padres are showing interest, but he's a name you're going to hear a lot of, I think, over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are going to be a really interesting team, as Bret Boone just said. I mean, Kevin Gausman, Jose Barrios, all these guys, they're Vladdy Jr. I mean, somebody could potentially make a move for a lot of those good players on that team if they're willing to pay what it costs. But they tried really hard in Toronto. I mean, it would signal the end of all right, we're going to have to which is nuts. I mean, which is nuts because there wasn't one person among us 6 years ago, 5 years ago that didn't say, oh, yeah.
I see what they're doing.
They're coming for MLB.
I mean,
maybe like the Orioles in a year or two, just shipping everybody out.
The 2024 ALCS was supposed to be the White Sox against the Blue Jays.
That's right.
They had all the young stars on those 2 teams.
Yeah.
And now they're both in last place.
Yep. Crazy.
Very strange.
Life comes at you fast, man.
All right, let's get some more headlines with Paulie. Time for the Reindl Report. Carl, take it away.
Get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the
Greatest. Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Great.
Wanted to start off in
Hungry.
the world of
If you
Major
want to
League
know, I'm
Baseball.
hungry.
You're
That's how
hungry?
I feel. Yeah, I'm hungry. You asked me how I'm doing. I'm hungry.
By the way, because you're not staying for the roundtable, don't think you can just grab pizza on your way out. That is off limits to tomorrow.
I was.
You want to stay for 15 minutes? You can have a slice or 2.
I didn't even think about it, but now just to anger you, I'm at least getting like a breadstick for the drive over to Manning Camp.
You just be like all the sales staff.
Yeah,
now.
just
Sorry,
lurching around. Sorry, Paul,
Hey,
but
no-
you asked me. I told you I'm hungry.
I'm glad you told me.
All right.
Asked and answered. We will start off in Major League Baseball. Got some funny audio here from. We're gonna go to Detroit. Tigers,
Ooh, this was
Guardians yesterday. Things have not gone well for Javi Baez this year. He's played in 55 games, 203 plate appearances, and he's hitting 182. Just 1 home run. Things have not been going well for him.
His bank account disagrees.
He makes 20. He makes a base salary of $25 million.
I think Woods and I both
We
Googled
both
Javi
did.
Baez contract at the same time.
He signed 6 years, 140. By the way, 6 years was when what started? The Ben and Woods program. He was a free agent, and I was like, you have a chance to get Javi Baez. You take it. Absolute moron. Can you imagine? We have contracts we feel are albatrosses. This is an albatross. This is a brutal, brutal, brutal albatross.
Yeah, like I said, Javi Baez batting 182, just
One
one
bomb.
home run. It's not going well, and he took exception to getting drilled by a pitch yesterday. And listen to this from the broadcast of yesterday's game, Guardians and Tigers.
He got hit. I'll tell you what, Salem was just all over the place. Baez chirping. Look, Javi, you're hitting way under 200. Nobody's hitting you on purpose.
There's also an 81-mile-an-hour slider.
It was a slider on the butt, dude. That's so
You're hitting
good.
way under
Not that
200.
it wouldn't hurt. I mean, I don't want to
Nobody's
get hit by
trying.
81 either, but that was not a purpose pitch.
Somebody gets surprised Baez didn't swing at that pitch. Did you ever see the gift that went
Yes.
around of 50 Cent throwing and Javi Baez they superimposed
The
it?
overlay, yeah.
I almost peed my pants the first time I saw it. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god! Yeah, how does that happen? How does that happen? The fall off. How does that happen?
I mean, he hasn't been good for a while.
Mazzone says 6 years sounds a lot better than 10. That's also a very, very astute point. We like to hand out the decade-long contracts. He's 6 years is, I guess, much more doable.
Got a local note here. Kind of a bummer, but San Diego State football Mountain West preseason poll is just announced, and the Aztecs picked 8th by the media.
Out of 12.
Yeah.
I mean, the media could be wrong. We're often wrong about things. You were wrong about Javi Baez.
I was.
Maybe the media will be wrong about San Diego State. Maybe they'll finish 11th.
You know,
They could.
They could.
every sport has their media day. You know, some sports may not get the same attention as football media day or basketball media day, but every sport's got them, and we get the emails from the local colleges and all their PR departments. They send out, you know, hey, the men's lacrosse team is picked 4th in the preseason poll. San Diego State in the Mountain West, like, no matter the sport, they're usually in like the top 3 every single preseason poll. And they should
Basketball,
be.
usually 1 or 2.
Like, they are the
Other
flagship
sports.
school of the soon-to-be no more Mountain West. And I saw the football team was picking.
It's
eighth.
I think the thinking would be that in your first year, so much turnover, all the players that left in the portal, bringing in new players, that it's going to be tough to put together a kind of a cohesive team in your first season. We'll see. I mean, that's, the offense is supposed to be exciting. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out if it really will be. But
what do you think, Woods?
8th is not going to be something that I think gets J.D. Wicker super excited if that's where they finish in the Mountain West this year. Woods, got some thoughts on San Diego State football?
No.
Not really. They don't even have a quarterback named yet.
No, is there a safety perhaps that could play quarterback? Maybe. No.
Yeah, the program just needs to be better. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. But right now, it's a work in progress.
Yeah, almost like they could use help selling tickets and whatnot, drumming up some excitement. But
speaking of SDSU, just saw that Kawhi Leonard is off Team USA.
Yeah, I saw that
to the
too.
Olympics.
What happened?
Let me guess. I don't know the story yet.
Let me guess, he says.
I'm going to say there's some sort of injury issue.
Oh,
wait. Bulky right knee.
The bulky knee
is acting up again.
There's a bulky knee.
What is bulky? I have a bulky knee right now.
Think of a pitcher when you balk, you kind of you go and you kind of stop, and it's like a knee that sort of works and then kind of stops working all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's bulky.
Yeah,
and then maybe it starts working again, and then it stops working.
Like you feel like my knee could give out on
any
me
second
at any moment here. I should probably just lay low for a little while.
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
I got another local story here for our third one. Taco Bell has something that they are doing here in San Diego. Next month, they are launching a retirement community for young people.
Excuse me.
For the weekend.
A retirement community for the young.
Yes.
How young is young?
They're targeting this towards Gen Z.
What am I? Gen X. What are you?
No,
I'm a millennial.
No, I'm Gen X.
I think you're.
We're Gen X.
I thought I was a little younger. I thought maybe it was Gen Y.
No, we're Gen X, dude.
Well, you figure that out. I'll tell you about the cantinas. So this is for Taco Bell Rewards members, which all you have to do is just go to their website or their app and sign up, and you can be a rewards member. And they're opening a retirement community for young people, and it's not an actual permanent living facility or anything like that. It's just a weekend, August 17th and 18th.
Okay.
They're not saying the location, but when you go on their website, as I did this morning, they show a pin placed on a map, and it looks like it's, is it Levalle up in Rancho Santa Fe, the country club?
Levalle Coastal Club.
Levalle Coastal
Yeah, it used to be
Club.
Morgan Run, but they changed the name.
Look at him perk up, by the way.
Yeah, he's like, oh, what?
By the way, I have a question for you guys.
It was Whispering Palms before it was Morgan Run.
Do we need Taco Bell speakeasies? I mean, do we really need... Can't we just go to Taco Bell if you want? Do we need a speakeasy for Taco Bell? I'm here. Pat.
Speakeasies are kind of cool.
They are, but for illegal whiskey and women.
It's not illegal, though. It's legal now.
I understand.
It's just a hidden door.
But you know what
it's
I'm
a bar
saying.
behind a hidden door.
Just go to Taco. Just go get Taco. Is Taco Bell cool enough to deserve a speakeasy or something? That's what I'm saying.
So
what do we have to do speakeasies for? Hey, tune in tomorrow. We're going to let you know what radio station to listen to on Benwood. Not everything needs a speakeasy or a pop
password. We need a password to get in.
Oh, God.
We were just talking earlier in the show about how things always come back full circle. Old video games is what we were talking about. And so Taco Bell is leaning into Gen Z. Like, look, vinyl records have had a huge revival. Baseball cards have had a huge revival over the last few years. Pickleball now is a huge sport in America. So they're leaning into, they're like, okay, well, let's have pickleball. Because that used to be an old person's retirement home activity. So they're having this weekend where you can get day passes for $50, or you can get for $150 2-night stay at the cantinas, is what they're calling it.
Where do you sleep?
And they're going to have a Taco Bell dining experience and activities.
Oh, you mean like going to Taco Bell? It's the same dining experience. You go eat Taco Bell. That's what we used to call it.
Croquet, painting classes, knitting circles.
All right, dude.
Everything's going to be, early bird special.
I was about to short my brain out.
What retirement things would you enjoy the most?
watching TV, sitting on my ass.
I mean, obviously, I'm golf.
Golf, too.
Golf would be great. My mother plays Mahjong. now.
Mahjong.
Yeah. I think it's
is
the
it
new...
dice?
No, it's like tiles.
Tiles, that's right.
Like
That's right.
tiles. And she got her Mahjong group, and they play Mahjong.
Golf will be a retirement activity. Making love to my wife.
You can't do it every day because you're getting old, so it's
Sure I can.
tiring.
Oh, making love to my wife or
I don't know.
playing golf?
Both, actually.
That's fair. We don't
Taco
need...
Bell also is not something you probably should do every day in retirement either.
Somebody said, it is the illusion of exclusivity. Oldest marketing trick in the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, by the way, Tier 1s, you guys are a real exclusive group. Yeah, you know what's exclusive? We'll take all of you. Any of you.
Don't tell your friends.
Tell all of your friends to listen to Ben and Woods. Oh, my Lord. We don't need speakeasies for everything. You just go get Taco Bell.
This is like the overnight.
The overnight
weekend speaking.
Well, technically, we have our member stream.
We do.
Which is kind of like the Ben and Woods speakeasy
Little bit.
for the exclusive password members.
The secret society of Taco Bell.
I didn't know, because I think I saw something about like a speakeasy now. They have like the Taco Bell cantinas, which are kind of like I've been to the one in Vegas. It's right on the strip. It's like 2 stories, kind of a nightclub style, but it's still
a Taco Bell nightclub.
But it's the same thing. You go up to the counter, you order your Taco Bell, you get your cheesy
And you
gordita
eat it.
crunch, and you go and sit at a normal table.
It reminds me of those like Sprite commercials where like high school kids pull up to a house like, yeah, they're all raging and like big tubs full of Sprite. I'm like, what planet are we on? And am I supposed to believe this? That all you kids are, and they're cheersing, Ben, like, you look at me, I look at you, and they're like, yeah, and they're just chugging Sprite at this high school party. Just incredible. Well, all right, Taco Bell Cantina. I'll just go to Taco Bell and get some. I think. I don't need to be in like a newsboy hat and like sneaking around a back alley to get into a Taco Bell.
No, this is like you're at a retirement home. So you get to you'll be in bed by 6 p.m.
The thing about Taco Bell that we like, you get in, you eat, you get out, and you go home to the toilet. And it takes 15 minutes all in. So good stuff, Paulie. I like that. Good story.
I just saw a story that Taco Bell's meat is 88% meat.
Better than I thought.
Yeah, there was this lawsuit a few years ago. They said that they thought it was only like 36% beef, but it was proven wrong. Taco Bell
36.
beef is actually 88% beef.
I had a buddy.
And 12% spices and binders.
I had a buddy that worked there, and I didn't eat there for a while. It took a while. It took many years. I eat there once a year now. Paulie and I do when we go to fantasy camp. It's the day I look forward to the most of the year. I'll be completely honest with you.
It is legitimately the only time of year I go to Taco Bell.
That's it. Same with me. Maybe one other time, but that's it.
Going
Like
right
twice.
there on Bell Road.
That's right. That's right.
It's been a couple of years since I've partaken.
Paulie.
Thank you, Paulie. Good job on the Reindl Report. All right, we'll come back. You want to play some of that Manny audio from yesterday?
Sure.
All right, Manny.
Why was anybody surprised by any of this?
I know. Adam came in going, have you talked about Manny's
I love
audio?
the outrage. Like, have you not been here since he's been here? It's very weird.
It's Manny being Manny.
Manny being Manny every
Manny
time.
Really trying, I think, to try to make a connection.
Right. It's just...
But people were not, I don't know, people were
They weren't feeling
confused or they weren't feeling it. But we'll play some Manny audio when we come back with Ben and Woods after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. I saw the video. I think Sammy Levitt posted it at our 97.3 The Fan SD Twitter account yesterday of Manny Machado in the clubhouse pregame. They're kind of being playful with reporters a little bit.
Too.
That's what I thought. And
boy, people got mad.
The reaction wasn't necessarily what I think Manny was going for, but I certainly understood where he was coming from. You want to play let's play the audio here. A couple minutes of Manny interacting with reporters and, trying to just have a little back and forth going.
I know you have personal expectations of being in the playoffs every single year. When you have this roster and you have 5 guys that are all-stars, does it just amplify that expectation even more?
You see, I don't like the word expectations. I think, that's something people always like to put out there as expectations. I mean, I think we expect to go out there and win every single day. I mean, this is what we play the game for. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to be a loser, so we got to go out there and play our game. And I think, whenever you have guys playing well, things go well for you. But at the end of the day, it's about what this team could do day in, day out, every single night. And, this whole team has been doing it all day. Every single day for the whole year, so we got to continue doing that. And I think that's expectation we have in here as a group is to do that. Expectation. Look at that. You say it, now I gotta say it. That's why I don't like the word, because now you're putting it in my mouth. I didn't say the word. You're putting it in my mouth. So you see, that's why I don't like words. That's why you guys always put us in these situations, and then now we get caught, and then now I'm all over social media because. You put something in my mouth, which I didn't say, and now I just keep repeating expectations. So, no, I mean, we just got to go out there and compete, continue to compete. I think we got a really good group of guys here that, we can do something special this year, and we're going to continue to, thrive for that.
Yeah, nothing's changed. This is no different interview than I've ever
heard. Here's what I think he's trying to convey.
Quite frankly, that was more lively than he usually is.
No
playful.
question about it.
I thought it was good. Basically, what Manny is saying, and I understand this. Anytime you put a season expectation, like our expectation is to win the World Series.
Correct.
Really, you're doing a disservice to your team. Manny says our expectation, we go out, we want to win every single game. That makes a lot of sense. But if your expectation is to go 500, well, what good does that do? You could exceed expectations, and that's great. But ultimately, it doesn't really make a difference. You're trying to win as many games as you can, be there at the end of the season, and then let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully make a deep playoff run. And whether you win 84 games and do that, or 88, 91, all putting expectations does is create some artificial target that doesn't really mean anything.
I did see our buddy Chris is amazing. He goes, well, he's definitely taking on the personality of his manager. I started dying laughing. Did we play Schild's audio from last night, Paulie? The one where he's a little creased. I love
asking about the lack of offense the last couple of games.
I like
in the post game press conference.
I like when
AC asked him, look,
do you have it?
Yeah, I got the.
Right,
I don't have AC's question,
okay.
But he basically was saying look, I know you just said Gilbert's an all-star pitcher,
right.
But Ryan Nelson for
wasn't.
Sunday, he's not an all-star. He's somebody that you know very well in your division, and the offense still wasn't there. What do you have to say for the lack of offense the last couple of games?
Yeah, I can't live in the past with Nelson, man. If we're going to live in the past, let's appreciate the good offense prior to that.
Right.
But I think we just addressed that. Gilbert pitched like an all-star night, was really effective.
So not really any sort of correlating thing. You got 4 hits in both of those 2.
I think if you look across this league over 162 games, you're going to have back-to-back games where it doesn't go as well as you like offensively. I think
that's a good answer.
That's just going to happen. We don't like it to happen, clearly.
That's a good answer.
But,
that's fine.
I mean, we've got a really good offense, and we trust our guys completely.
That is a more than fine answer of, hey, man, in this freaking game
But
that we love.
it's also a legitimate question. The
Padres, it is.
Padres have not had an at-bat with a runner in scoring position in either of their last 2 games. Do you know the last time that happened? Kevin had it in his newsletter this morning.
Yeah.
1974.
What happened?
The last time the Padres had 2 straight games without having an at-bat with a runner in scoring position. They were 0 for 0 with runners in scoring position the last 2 games. They have not had a guy standing on second or third base in either of the last 2 games. Now, they scored runs on home runs as they passed second and third, but they have not had actual rally with a guy out there on second or third base in either of the last 2 games. Now,
and Andros says the problem I had with it is he says he can't live in the past, but when we would have a bad series, he's like, well, what about all those good games we just had? Yeah, he absolutely does that, which, again, there's no way to answer. There wasn't, and it's a fair question, and we do it to Schilt all the time. We ask a fair question, and he's like, I don't know, what do you want me to say? And I'm like, I don't know, just give me some BS. That's what I want. That's what I'm asking for. Say something funny or give me some BS. Because, again, Ben, if he knew what the problem was with having 4 hits in 2 games, and you know what he would do? He would fix it.
And he may be right. There may be no problem. It is just 2 games out of 162. Might just be a coincidence. The guys just didn't see the ball well for 2 games, and it could be over today. And they could score 11 runs today.
Yeah, I don't know. If you asked me, if I was the skipper, if you asked me the same question, I don't know how
it could also be the sign of an impending slump that doesn't, so you ask the question. Do you see anything to worry about here?
Yeah, I see us going off the cliff right now. That's what I see. I see us going off the cliff.
You can just say, no, I think it's just one of those couple days stretches you get in the course of a regular season, and that it happens. I expect us to bounce back. We've shown before that we bounce back many times from other games where we haven't hit, just like every team does, and fully expect us to bounce back today.
Jeter says media overanalyze games daily is wild. No, listen. Then if daily numbers weren't important, then they should just put out weekly stats. Just weekly. Like, we don't do daily. We're going to see how you played this week. We're going to see how you played this week.
Mike Schilt would love that.
He would absolutely love that. Absolutely. And there's different ways to look at it.
I love that.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you would.
You get a report every week. Padres went 4-3 this week.
How fantastic
This is the team.
That's great.
Go ahead, analyze that week. Well, it sounds like they did all right. But you know what? When they lost the 3 games in the middle of that week in a row, and they were held to 2 hits, we all panicked a little bit. But now we don't have to. We can just go week by week.
Michael says it's rather astonishing how much this team struggles with fair and, frankly, easy questions that they can BS their way through. I don't think they can. That's what I'm saying is, like, they're not BSing their way through.
Sometimes it's a sign that you actually have good people if they can't do that.
True.
They have trouble not being honest and being disingenuous, and they just want to give you the real thoughts, and you don't like the real thoughts.
But what's weird about Manny is since the day he got here, he's been like, no, we're just playing one game at a time. Good Lord willing, things will work out. Anytime he tries to go off script, he gets dragged too. It's funny. Interesting.
All right, we will come back. Final segment of Ben and Woods. Got a game tonight. Well, not quite tonight. Not quite this afternoon. On the cusp of both this evening as the Padres go for at least a series split against the Seattle Mariners. Get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. So my son yesterday, my older son, not the one who's celebrating the birthday today.
Happy 19th, Graham.
Said he wasn't listening to the show, but saw on our TikTok account the impromptu karaoke edition of you playing John Fogerty and me singing out center field yesterday. And he said that was surprisingly good by both of you.
A song that you said you don't like, but got way into singing.
Well, I'm not going to give it a half effort. If you're gonna play guitar and you told me you wanted me to sing, I'm going to jump in and do my best. But as I said, it's not my favorite song, and you put me on the spot to sing it. And he said, I was surprised. That was pretty good, actually.
People are very surprised we have a TikTok. Yeah, I haven't. I've never logged into it. Paulie puts stuff
I
on
assume
there.
it's been Paulie who's been putting things out
well,
there.
It's not me and it's not
Paulie
you.
That I'm worried who's in charge of our TikTok.
Yes.
I didn't see that on our Twitter feed yesterday.
Did not go out?
I don't
know.
But
Instagram.
Yeah, I missed it on the Twitter feed, but it was on Instagram and TikTok.
I would like a Ben and Woods karaoke night. That'd be a really fun night out. Really, really fun.
Add it to the list. Came out today, born again. There's new grass on the field.
He was like, he got real excited.
Third, I'm heading for home. It's a brown-eyed, handsome man. Anyone can understand the way I feel.
Pause it. He's doing the accent again.
The Texas Rangers?
The Texas Rangers.
Isn't that part of singing?
Everyone can understand.
It's kind of a
the way
country
I
song. I
feel.
mean, CCR. There's a bit of country twang to John Fogerty.
Why are you doing this against Southern Bend?
Well, I'm doing it because it's time to give away some tickets to John Fogerty.
Texas
Rangers.
Everyone
John
can
Fogerty at the
way I
Rain Shell
feel.
on September 4th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. But if you want to win a pair, be the fourth caller right now, 833-288-0973. John Fogerty
Why are you
tickets.
Irish now?
97.3 The Fun.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today. Look at me. I can be center field.
There it is.
It's incredible.
Call now, 833-288-0973. Paulie will answer the phone.
97.3. I love Southern Bend so much. I don't know where this has come from.
The Texas Rangers.
Texas. It's just brilliant. Brilliant.
Texas. Let's check traffic, give Paulie a chance to answer a phone or two, and we'll come back with today's Padres matchup and a little more to wrap things up here with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by the San Diego Zoo. Wrapping up our morning drive with a couple of problems here. Crash still clearing on westbound King Freeway before Euclid. It's over to the right shoulder, and traveling on southbound 15 before Falicita. Accident over to the right shoulder. You don't need a cape or special powers to be a superhero, because every time you walk through the gates at the San Diego Zoo, you help fund conservation efforts around the globe. And that makes you a hero for wildlife everywhere. San Diego Zoo. Every visit goes a long way. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
One more against the Seattle Mariners before the Atlanta Braves come to town this weekend. Of course, you think of Atlanta, you think of the devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
So good.
Charlie Daniels Band.
Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. Granny dish your dog bite, no child no. Is that how it goes? No. Chicken in the bread pan. Holly's talking in the
I
background.
don't even know. He talks so fast. I don't really know all the lyrics, but...
Chicken in the bread pan picking out dough. Granny dish your dog bite, no child no. It's so good.
That's the fiddle right there.
Probably play a little
which is
devil
just
went
what they
down to
call
Georgia.
the violin
Yeah.
in the South.
That's what we call
It's
the
fiddle.
violin.
The fiddle.
That's right.
But yeah, that's the Braves are coming to town this weekend. First, though, one more against the Mariners today. 3:40. There it is.
That it's not the devil went down to Georgia. That is one of my... Oh, God, it's so stars. That's one of my favorite sound clips that we've ever played.
Just that one?
Yeah, it's so good. All right, what's happening?
So we got 3:40 first pitch. he's been beat.
Yeah, he knows when
And he gives up that fiddle made of gold to Johnny.
He had the power to say, "I'm the devil."
I
I'm
know.
taking
It's like, I think I won.
Curse
you
you
know
to
what?
hell.
I
Yeah.
think
Sorry.
I won. I'm taking your soul. But no, he knew he had been beat.
Yeah, sorry. I think I tell Bo, I'm the dad. That's why I get to do this. I'm the dad.
It's a pretty honorable devil in that song.
Very much so.
He knows he's been beat.
Woods.
Johnny's the best that's ever been.
Ben and Woods devil supporters, apparently.
So, yeah, we got Eco Water SoCal pregame show at 2:40 this afternoon. Kind of an unusual start time for the finale to this quick 2-game series. And again, it's a 2-gamer because the Padres will go up to Seattle later this season to finish their natural rivalry 4-game series against the Mariners. Bryce Miller, not the UT columnist, but the pitcher for the Mariners, on the mound, 6-7, 3.84 ERA. Michael King for the Padres, 7-5, 3.51. And Michael King's been throwing pretty well lately.
He has.
They'll need a nice effort from him today as they look to snap their 3-game losing streak, get back, and one more win at least assures a winning record prior to the All-Star break. I'd like
Just one.
Like to do better than that.
Me too.
Don't want him to be just hovering a game above 500,
Again.
but better than a long losing streak going into the break. So,
Would we put up more than 6 runs off of the UT's Bryce Miller is what I want to know. Or is he below hitting speed? But this Bryce Miller that we're going to be facing today is they have these guys on the Seattle Mariners. I mean, again, you want to. If I know they scored some runs last night. If this team had an offense, they do have the pitching that could propel them, Ben, to a World Series if healthy. They've got this dude is a 6-pitch pitcher, velo guy. I mean, he's 4-seamer, sinker, split finger, sweeper. Is mostly what you're going to see, and he does mix in a cutter, a knuckle curve, and a slider. Very little, but he's a 4-seam, 2-seam guy, and the splitty is pretty nasty as well. The sweeper will get you. I mean, he's basically a 4-pitch pitcher.
yeah, I mean, you can make the numbers say whatever you want. He hasn't been good away. He's been great in Seattle and poor away from Seattle, 2-4 with a 6.28 ERA in
Throws
road
95,
games.
95 max.
He's got good stuff.
Yep.
I mean, the reason the Mariners are in first place is because of their pitching,
No question.
not because of their offense. Concerning that they got both the Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh both feeling good going into the game today. That's just going to make Michael King's job a little bit tougher because both of those guys had big games yesterday and are probably coming in with a little bit of confidence. What's Cal Raleigh's nickname again?
I don't know.
Big Dumper?
Big Dumper.
Oh, Big
yeah,
Dumper. Does he
Big
have a big
Dumper
butt?
got two home runs yesterday. One off, of course, Major, the other off Yuki Matsui later in the game. But, they got the back end of their bullpen. Estrada, Suarez.
Yesterday too, didn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but back into the bullpen is rested and ready to go. If Michael King can give him, six innings, 6+, what he's been doing lately, no reason why the Padres can't win this game and, end the losing streak at 3, nip it in the bud.
Offense got to show up today, certainly. I guess I didn't really have. I kind of understood last night with Logan Gilbert. Like you said, I mean, he was. You look up and you're 0-2. If you're not up there looking for a first pitch fastball to hunt and try to get a knock on, you looked up your 0-2. He was around the plate all night. He had 80 some odd pitches in the 8th inning, and it was just like, all right, well, clearly this is not our night at all. And that's after getting touched up a little bit by Crony. I mean, he was all around the plate. Didn't walk. And he walked Higashioka, I think that was it, right? And he was just dominant. So, hey, man, move on, flush it, go out and win today, split the series.
And, we did see that even as much as he struggled, Adam Major did strike out 6 yesterday. The Mariners strike out more than any other team in baseball. Michael King can get some strikeouts, too. I mean, this is a lineup that Michael King should be able to, get some swing and miss on and hopefully take advantage. You just got to avoid what Adam Major did is, the home runs, the big damage in, certain innings. And, Michael King certainly has the capability to do that and has done that much better here over the last couple of months of the season. You can make the argument that even Waldron struggled a little bit, that Michael King maybe of late has been the most consistent Padres starting pitcher over the last month or so.
He did. This dude really did say yesterday, Paulie, that Julio had been... Yeah.
620 OPS.
Remember, I was knocking on the wood. Yeah.
Yep.
How'd that work?
It was just true. I didn't make a prediction. I just said he has not been good offensively.
You said, I thought we're going to hold him in check.
I did not say that.
And continue to keep him.
Sucks.
He's terrible.
I
He's
said
overrated.
he has struggled, which was true. Now it's no longer true.
I think I'm going to go with reverse jinx. Say there's no way the Padres win this game today. Zero.
Nice.
No chance.
Zero
No
chance.
No. Going off a cliff.
Did you think they had a chance yesterday? No. I didn't really think they had much of a chance yesterday.
I was hoping for one of those fun miracle.
It's baseball.
He doesn't have it games. And
It's baseball. I was not overly optimistic about
nor was I.
yesterday's game.
Nor was
I was like, maybe Adam Mazur can have one of his better starts and keep them around long enough where they can pull one out. But that was not the kind of game I was expecting the Padres
nailed
to
it
win.
earlier when you said you could just tell as soon as he walked the first batter, we're not winning this game. And then that
Deflating.
is unfortunately it just look, he shouldn't be there. He's out of necessity pitching in the big leagues before he's ready. I feel for the guy, but it's so true. Like, you know, if Dylan Cease gives up first inning home run, he could still have 12 strikeouts that day and,
Yes,
and
I agree.
absolutely keep you in the ball game.
by the way,
You're not
Dylan
worried.
Cease will almost 100%
Almost always give
I
up
wish
a
I
first
loved
inning
anything
home
as
run.
much as he loved giving up first inning home runs.
You know, and it probably will be the last time we see Adam Mazur, at least for a while. Not going to pitch again before the All-Star break, and they hopefully won't need him again anytime soon after the break, depending on trades and health of other players. But they've got to come up with a different option right now. You know, he can't be their fifth starter going forward, and I think the expectation is that he won't be. That this is the last you'll see of Adam Mazur for a while, and hopefully he goes down and pitches well in the minors and really earns a promotion, and not just we're so desperate we don't have anybody else, but earn your way back up to the big leagues the second time. Been a lot of guys who have gone on to great careers that did not do well their first time around in the big leagues.
Hell, look at Ryan over there. A lot of guys get sent down to the minors to figure it out.
What about him?
What about him? Yeah.
Can you
see that?
Can you see that?
Yeah, they look good. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. I don't feel bad for the kid, but he's got big league experience under his belt, and you know, hopefully it motivates him to come back and get a taste of more and be more successful.
We will be back tomorrow, not just for the 6 to 10, but don't forget you can tune in tomorrow and every Thursday at 10 a.m. for 97.3 The Fans commercial-free Padres Roundtable featuring Ben and Woods, minus the Woods this week, Annie and Elston, Gwen and Chris, presented by San Diego Roundtable Pizza. For takeout or delivery, go to roundtablepizza.com. Roundtable, the last honest pizza. As honest as that devil down in Georgia.
Right.
All right, that's it for us. Annie and Elston coming up next. For Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. From all of us here at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.